All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome. We are back for Diablo 4. Rogue, Tenwin, Lord Brownbear, good to see you all. Welcome. Hope everybody is as happy as I am for it to be Bloody Friday by now. Now, you might notice a couple things different. I did do some stuff off stream. I see someone did the class quest. Yes, because I was not going to wait until like halfway into Act 3 before I got my fucking class abilities. Thank you very much, Tenwin. But yes, I did go and get the soul shards. Currently running with the ritualist shard. So we're doubling down on hellfire stuff and all of our honestly our largely non-demon spells. Also, we get this guy following us around now. Sucks to be him, Mr. Goat Demon. The map is very flexible. The whole area is scaled. Nothing stops you from going anywhere. I know. I did want to do the story in order. I just didn't want to wait till Act 3 to get these abilities. It's kind of stupid as hell that they hold it off until Act 3 of all things. But I also did some side quests. Just got us leveled up a little bit. I'm currently at level 34 now. A little bit better gear. And as you can see, a slightly altered appearance. I found a look that I think I quite like right now. Subject to change, of course, but honestly, it works pretty well. That fucking helm is actually still one of the better ones in the entire game right now, just from looks, appearance. You saved the best stronghold for last? Ah, yes, the Nostrava. We'll get to that eventually. I've been playing Diablo 2 a bit. It's a slow burn. Yes, Lord Brownbear, it is. Welcome to early 2000s gaming. I hope you also enjoy the fact in Diablo 2 that other classes' items can drop for you, thus infinitely increasing the loot pool, thus making your life a living hell to find upgrades. Welcome. There is a reason, Lord Brownbear, that... Okay, so people did not play Diablo 2 in multiplayer just to play it with friends. They played it in multiplayer because it was a desperate hope that by expanding the number of people in the group, everyone would get items that they'd actually be able to use. The social component was just a fucking icing on the cake. Also, I've changed up some of the abilities that I'm using. We're finally getting hellfire abilities pretty much across the board. And Hellfracture is actually working out pretty well now that I know how to use it. And I finally have the the hellfire version of Doom, which I have quite been enjoying. I also like the slight change. It gets a bit more red and pink in this version. So now we're Eldritch blasting with fire. And I really want to do this because I want to unlock the cutscene where we meet Inarius, because I want to see if the Warlock has anything interesting to say about that.
Your business.
Oh, hello.
Reverend Mother Prava expects me.
Open the gates.
Just once, I want someone to go, the fuck she did, or something.
You were good soldiers. Worked hard. Fought hard. Drank hard too. Brothers. Sisters. I hope you.
It's a good game. The itemization is good, but Jesus Christ, by today's standards, it's bare. The atmosphere carries it a lot, which is hilarious because when D4 came, playing D2 had a better endgame, which made me scratch my head because, you know, D2 doesn't really have an endgame and speak reality beyond 2 or 3 extra bosses.
I came clean to Prava.
I mean, it depends. Okay, so firstly, though, Tenwin, while you're academically correct, I would say the definition of an end game has shifted dramatically over
You're here
what the last 20 years have given us.
Let's go together. Maybe she'll go easy on me if you're there.
Like, by the standards of the time, Diablo 2 having essentially infinite replayability and your items slowly getting better, like, until you rolled perfect on them, was considered the best form of single-player endgame. It was basically unlimited content. Constantly improving, constantly increasing the difficulty while constantly increasing the rewards. By the standards of early 2000, that was practically unprecedented, even for a single-player game. Hell, it was beyond even what Diablo 1 had delivered.
Bear your sins.
Wonder if that's actually addressed to me.
This is no mere armor. This is a holy vessel of the highest craftsmanship. It may uplift the repentant sinner directly to the light. Can armor do that?
All right. Let's go talk with Prava then. I'm just emphasizing that compared to today, a lot of fans still insist that D2 is the best experience.
Hold.
Part of that is, again,
He's expecting us.
it's not even a case of nostalgia. It's a case of we went for so long without a sequel that you had literally entire generations of video gamers playing Diablo 2. And, like, for the better part of almost, what, 15 years, 16 years?
Vigo here tells me you were braver than he.
Map of Estuar with a throng of red markers and arrows all pointing towards the fabled city of Chaldeum. Talked to a friend recently who said Diablo 2 is his new favorite. He's a year younger than me. Old soul, that one. Yeah. I think the other side of the coin, Tenwin, the other side of the nostalgia coin, is we have never gotten an action RPG quite in the same mold as Diablo 2 ever again. It was the end of an era, and everything that came after it to try and capture the action RPG success of Diablo 2 usually changed the overall just fundamental nature. It was only 11 years between Lord of Destruction and D3. I feel like that's wrong, but you're probably right, and I'm just misremembering. But even so, it was a long enough time that okay. I would say, though, that in those 11... Really? Diablo 3 came out in 2012? God, time is slipping away from me. Time is slipping away from me. For some reason, I thought it was different. Well, okay, but if we want to go that route, we could also say Diablo 3 didn't really have a proper endgame, or even a proper game for the first year of its existence either. What's up, Prava?
First, you will be made worthy of a blessing. A holy war cannot be won with faithless troops. Make no mistake, this war is holy. Lilith has brought the eternal conflict to Sanctuary, and Inarius will deliver us as writ in prophecy. Until then, we have our parts to play. Make a pilgrimage to the Alabaster Monastery. Cleanse your spirit. Then we may discuss a blessing.
Feels so like this thing is following me around and everyone's just okay with it.
Useful. Come by the ruins south of here.
Sure thing, Vigo. Where am I supposed to go? Wait a second. Where's the... Huh? Oh, there it is. Good lord. That was weird. It's also true sim games literally can't be redone due to the space changing. MMOs is the best example. Oh, yes, I agree. And I also agree that a game as... I don't know what the word would be, of its time, like Diablo 2, couldn't be made again today. And we know it can't because many ARPG developers tried in the immediate aftermath and failed miserably. So Sanctuary is just Diablo's turn for the material plane? No, it is literally this world, but Sanctuary is semi-cut off from the rest of creation because of the nature of how it was created. Yeah, it was because the name was literally a sanctuary for those angels and demons who were tired of the war and wished to stop fighting. Or at the very least to tone down the fighting for a time. Yay. Okay, fragments. What's up, Vigo?
There's a shrine west of here. Bears a relic. I'm told it takes on your sin. Weighs you down, body and soul. Beats the hell out of you. It'll cleanse you. Prepare you to stand before the Father. I hope you don't have many regrets, friend. This kind of thing is a lot deadlier for some than others.
I got the very good feeling that our Warlock does not regret a damn
I'll find
thing.
you at the end.
I also did like the class quest because it did answer like part of my question, like what exactly is the difference between a Warlock and a cultist? And there is actually one line from the guy who gives you the class quest where it's basically like, the one thing you have to remember is that we never let the demon hold the chain, or we never let the demon take control. The whole idea is that cultists sacrifice of themselves or sacrifice others in exchange for power. A warlock summons up a demon, beats the ever-living shit out of it, and forces it into eternal slavery. The warlock is well aware that this means his soul is still damned to hell when he dies. The warlock doesn't care. I don't think any of these have any change to the dialogue.
But it'll clean.
Yeah, like, I'm really just looking for the warlock's dialogue, and unfortunately there's no real dialogue change here. The succubus calls me daddy. Unironically, Lord Brownbear. Unironically. Or in this case, actually, I think I can show you. Can I de-summon this guy? Hold on. If I pull that off, he disappears. And then I put it back on. Oh, he doesn't say the voice line. So the other times I've summoned him, he says a voice line where it's just like, "What else do you want from me?" or something like that. Explains why the demons you summon are in some severe stages of torment. Yeah, I'm imagining whatever spells the warlock uses are basically what put those chains and shit on the demons and immediately bind them into service. That's sort of the warlock's whole thing. So I can definitely understand why a warlock would be against Lilith. The warlock would agree with Lilith in principle, but would be under the assumption of, yeah, except we don't control you, so by the very nature of this agreement, you're holding power over us, and we don't allow that to happen. Have class quests that focus around an equal failing, while the Druid and Necromancer class are more about how now we work together with nature in one aspect or another. At the same time, it's very fitting, given what we know of the sorcerers and the warlocks. Like, as opposed to the druids who have been desperately trying to, like, work with people for the last 2 games. The druids came out of exile to help the barbarians in the plot of Lord of Destruction, don't forget. Like, they've been trying their ass, and the necromancers have basically been just like, if people would just listen to us, we would have solved so many issues by now. Savati gonna be lurking because I'm trucking. No problem, Kataka. Hope you have a good morning, my dude.
Hark, creature of darkness, for you have wandered beyond the reach of the light. Lift your sins, breathe deep the cold air. The path to redemption lies before you, if you have the faith to walk it.
Oh no, it got dark. My warlock is totally afraid of the dark, guys. Oh, wait. Goodbye. Druid and Necromancer look of superiority. No, I'm gonna say it. The Necromancer has a reason to be thinking that they're superior. It's why I headcanon. My personal headcanon is that the Necromancer of Diablo 4 is the student of the Necromancer from Diablo 3, who is the student of the Necromancer from Diablo 2. Like, the Necromancer class as a whole has just been dealing with this shit for almost 70 years now. They are sick and tired of this bullshit, and they want it handled. Kaboom, kaboom. Yeah, no, I like Hell Fracture. It is a very satisfying skill to use. Oh, I have to read from it.
Of your wounds. Let the ice into your bones. Welcome your pain.
Druid's a bit harder to place because they've only been in 2 games. One of them was a DLC, but yeah, being a Storm Druid is great fun. Yeah, except you can, like, if you're, I'm looking at it more from a lore and vibes perspective than a specifically gameplay. Like, the Druids is just like, oh, our own people exiled us, kicked us out, declared us as heretics. Doesn't matter, we're coming back to save you all. And we're gonna do it twice. Get fucked. Do not resist, you are being saved. Oh, I forgot the fucking altar. The Paladin and Crusader kind of have that vibe as well, but not quite as good just because we know that things don't end well for either the Diablo 2 Paladin or the Diablo 3 Crusader, as far as we can tell. Admittedly, they go down swinging, so, you know, if you're a Paladin fan like I am, it's hard to not be at least a little impressed. We're here to support our community, tend to nature, and absolutely destroy anyone who tries to stop us. Yep. Admittedly, we do see the dark side of that in Act 2 of this game, and I understand why, because Donan was a bit of a dumbass, and the druids were a bit of a dumbass. I can't really blame them. Get fucked. Everything is on fire. Yes. All right, Bravo, what do you want to tell me?
Towering over you. Feel how small you are.
Even the best of orders can't prevent people from being stupid. Yeah.
Humility. Accept your place in worship to the Father, for he has shown us the way.
Yes, Bravo. I'm off to meet your sugar daddy. Inarius would hate that title, which is why I'm going to use it for him. Yeah, we're almost there. All right. Who else wants to try me while I'm half blind? Go on. I know you do. Oh, that's a white item. Fuck that. You think he even knows what a sugar daddy is? He would feign that he doesn't, but he spent enough time around Lilith and her demons that he absolutely knows, Tenwin. He'd be like, how dare you use such vulgar language around a servant of the heavens? And in his head, he's like, I cannot let them know what me and Lilith did during our honeymoon. Oh my god. The humans' minds would break if they knew just how hard that daughter of hatred Ussi do be hitting. Yeah, something like that, Tenwin. That almost sounds exactly like something he would say. Get shot. Oh, wrong button. Clips that line for nefarious uses. I mean, that is the nature of the streamer.
The end nears, pilgrim. Look into yourself. Find your faith. Feel how it fills.
I mean, okay, if we're going to be talking about Inarius and Lilith's relationship, yes, most of it is defined in the Sin War books, I believe, because it actually goes into the creation of Sanctuary. But come on, you're really gonna tell me that the mother of all succubi, the daughter of hatred, Mama Lilith, you really telling me that Inarius and her, when they finally got down to it, did not just have the raunchiest fucking time? Now, yes, I am using the anime definition of that, which includes lewd things such as hand-holding, because you know for a demon like Lilith, hand-holding would just be the lewdest thing in the world. Won't spoil it, I have to say, man, Lord of Hatred's overall plotline feels very well written, which feels very strange to say about a Blizzard game. Yes, please do not spoil. We will get to Skovos eventually. I kind of gypped myself by doing this. I could have been using one of my paladins to just play through it, but I really wanted to see what the Warlock was all about. We will get there. I wish they hadn't, like, abandoned this. Like, there's a couple of these scattered throughout the game where it does the whole dramatic shot and moves the camera back. But I don't think they do any of them after, like, Act 3. Which seems kind of pointless. Hello, Vigo.
I like playing cards. Doesn't make me a sinner. But that bribe. Good soldiers died on account of what I did. Is that the kind of man I am? The kind I'll always be.
I have to say, Lord of Hatred's overall they are rare, but they are oddly cool. No, yeah, I agree. I agree. I wish they'd done more of them with, like, iconic locations and shit.
That makes one of us, at least.
Like, there should have been one overlooking Travancore in Act 5, or at in the end of the expansion. Like, Travancore used to be the seat of the Zakarum. It used to be the holiest city in all of Cuirass.
Back, you know. You'd better. I owe you a stiff drink.
You joined a fanatical order expected to be forgiven for actions. I mean, to be fair, Prava has actually shown, and shows again in the expansion several times, that she's actually pretty good about the whole redemption thing. It's just that in this particular case, Vigo's actions quite literally led to the death of his entire command. It's not just the failings of a soldier, it's the failings of a commander. And that's the kind of thing that a military organization like a knightly order cannot let fly. Because that's the kind of thing that undoes the ability for your unit to function. Like, I don't like what's going to happen to Vigo. We'll see it soon. For those of you who haven't played the game, we will see it soon. I don't like it, but I can almost understand why that was the way they chose for him to go out. Also, as far as deaths in Sanctuary go, Vigo got off fairly light, let's be honest. There are far, far worse fates in Sanctuary.
Kneel before him and
No.
remember, you are small, wonderfully small. No, 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 it's not about kneeling. It's about wonder. Oh, the light itself, divinity itself, radiates from that room. Though my flesh is cold and numb, my spirit is warm with reverence.
Looks at the demon
What
victim in the
can
village
we
that got
do
flayed alive
but
and somehow begged for more.
kneel?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so he was, until the sweet poetry of the prophecy rang out. To divine its message, he pilgrimaged deep into Sanctuary's heart to meet... well, I shouldn't say.
Oh, right. That's, yeah, I know who he met, and I don't even remember him having that line. Yep. Oh, right. We do have lore here. This world is a temporary one. We were born into sin and corruption on Sanctuary. It is only through the good works of the Father that we shall be lifted to the heavens above. Yeah, notice how there's no mention of Lilith or the other demons here, or the fact that Inarius had to steal the World Stone in order to create Sanctuary, or the fact that he then went against his own beliefs and started using the World Stone to support his own power. Laid down this ground, opened up the sky, created the Sanctuary from the bounty of the World Stone. Head of the faith. The falling sickness claimed her childhood, but the Father gave her new life. The Reverend Mother Prava is but one of his many blessings. Cast down from the heavens, but prophesies to return, our Father Inarius will ascend to the heavens on his wings. We will be... Last I checked, there's no actual way for a mortal to ascend to celestial status, right? As far as we know, no. There's some implications in, I believe, the Sin War trilogy that humanity becoming the Nephilim is not technically their end state, so there's some potentiality that humanity could become something more than angel or demon or something wholly unique, but that they have not reached that point yet. But that all got thrown out kind of when the World Stone was used as a power limiter and set humanity back by millennia. Father of mankind, the Father points the way to the light. By the order of the Knights Penitent, it was founded to carve our path towards it. Now, we do know that by emulating, or rather by channeling the power of the light, humans can invoke angelic features. The Paladins have been doing that for years. And most blatantly with the Paladin class in Diablo 4, which straight up has Arbiter form that can just temporarily imbue itself with the power of an angelic, like, warrior. Mixa, welcome, welcome. All right, let's see. I want to say, I really hope they included some new lines in this, given the fact of who we're playing as. Come on.
This is how you choose to approach me.
Yeah. Ugh. I was kind of hoping he wouldn't.
Intrusion, but
Tell me what you need.
I must traverse the Black Lake, and that cannot be done without your blessing.
If I've learned anything during my time here, it is that what we're looking for and what we need are rarely the same thing. I once thought I could find an end to this war, but there has been no resolution.
Can't stand his golden ass, but I prefer people to not nag my ear constantly about goat sacrifices. Hey, the last goat I sacrificed turned out to be a demon, and now he's bound in perpetual servitude and it enhances my powers. I'd say that's a win.
Was born from the impossible. And yet, like its creators, it rots from the inside.
I don't. Lilith has entered the ancient city. With your blessing, I can pursue her.
That's the point, Tenwin. Like, if you actually pay attention to what Inarius says throughout Diablo 4, he's...
And this world has been wasted.
You can
on the
tell that there is a
crusades of
small
your
core
mind.
deep inside of him that is wondering if he's actually doing the right thing. And that core only gets a moment to shine right before his end. There's a tiny bit of doubt somewhere deep inside. That tiny bit of Inarius that was the original angel who just wanted an end to the war is somewhere deep inside this man's conscious. And it only gets one real good moment to show up before his mistake to not double tap. Yep. Well, technically it happens right after his mistake to not double tap because we'll get there. It'll be a while. I was really hoping for a little bit more from the Warlock. I was hoping, like, even if it had just been, like, a hesitation in kneeling, a little bit longer. At your pace, it'll be a while. I know, I'm slow.
No. You heard him, but you did not listen. His voice is music, a symphony of light. Look beyond the words themselves, and you will find truth.
I mean, to be fair, Tywin, we'll probably get a little bit faster. Once I get closer to the max level and get some decent gear, I'll bump up the difficulty while simultaneously still go faster, and I'll start skipping side quests outside of ones that I like. Or I'll, you know, at the very least, I won't be doing them on stream. He's a bit of an arsehole. Yeah, he's rude, but he's actually very wise, you know? I mean, yeah, that's pretty much what that conversation comes down to. All right, let's get back to Cor Valar. Would anyone like to try and ambush me on my way back? Kinda feeling in the need for killing things. I do appreciate how many things. If anything, I would put more stuff that's destructible in the terrain. Like, I honestly would in a game like this. Just give me the ability to randomly break shit all over the place. I don't care if it's completely pointless. Someone really should make a list of essential side quests that contain lore details that are genuinely important. Yeah, the problem is that would exclude, like, 95% of the side quests, especially from like Act 1 and Act 2. Well, Act 2 maybe not as much, because there are some druid side quests that help at least explain why, maybe not explain why, but at least provide some insight as to why some druids would just say fuck it and sign up for the demons, the way that their leaders did. It adds some appropriate context. Blasted. I just wish that Doom had a slightly longer range. Not even like long range, just a little bit longer. Because as it is, it's basically just melee plus. It's just slightly larger than your melee attack. Say this is a problem. Side quests are more optional than others, so you don't worry about missing good shit. I know, but it feels like, I don't know. It feels like sometimes the writing team for Diablo can't decide whether they want to reveal important, like, lore and world details in their side quests, or if they just want them to be completely skippable. Because, unfortunately, in a way, Diablo, more than even Warcraft, was kind of ground zero for Blizzard being like, oh, you don't understand this thing? That's because you didn't buy a book that we wrote that we didn't advertise, that nobody knew about, and that nobody even knew existed. There are like 3 or 4 quest lines in the latest expansion that are genuinely, why is that not mainline?
Blessed
I mean, we'll see.
are those who bask in the light. Let our faith be our armor against the encroaching darkness.
Yes. Hello, Prava.
Ah, you've returned.
I have.
Come, let us speak inside, out of the cove.
All right, Inarius refused to
Yet
bless
you
me.
stand before me unscathed. I know his ways, That is approval enough for me. In the name
And I love how
of
you
the
can see the
light,
disconnect
I
here,
bless
because it's like Inarius
May
purposely,
the light
definitively
flow
said,
through
I don't bless
and
you.
keep
But because Prava's so
from
blinded by her
corruption
faith,
and
she's
sin.
like, well, he let you come
Our
back, so
victory
obviously things must be
is
okay.
prophesied in the heavens.
It's also why I do give Prava a little bit of leeway, as we will see here. Well, a little bit of leeway now. She gets worse, then she gets better towards the end of the first expansion. It also implies Inarius is very smite happy. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the first thing he did upon returning to Sanctuary was basically gather together some followers, beat the ever-loving shit out of demonic incursions, and then crush what was left of the Zakaru. Guy spent probably the better part of, because he's been back for about 50 years, Guy has spent the most of that on a warpath. So I'm not surprised in the slightest. Like, don't forget, there is legitimate evidence in some of the background details for Diablo 4 that the Zakarum Church was starting to get its feet back under it to actually reform and be a proper religion again for humanity. And then Inarius showed up and shit-kicked their crap in. Basically saying, nope, I'm the true creator of Sanctuary, I'm an angel, follow me. Which also probably caused at least some of the Paladins and Crusaders to go, wait, an angel? Yeah, I guess we should be on their side.
An outsider. I could use your help. A dying knight mistook me for his... He said his party of knights...
Yeah, the Red Child. There's no dialogue here. Thank you for the quest. I'll do it if I find the time. Part of me is surprised that you don't play Spiritborn as a centipede build. Insect-related joke. I never really liked poison builds in most games anyways, and I played Spiritborn, and Jaguar was okay with the bleed damage, but overall, it was just a little too squishy. Like, I can see how it's very much a glass cannon, but the problem is that glass cannon and melee in an action RPG is usually a horrible fucking combination. All right, now it's time to go deal with Nyrel's quests. Spiritborn looks are generally great at times, not on male Spiritborn though. You can find a couple good looks on the male Spiritborn, but yes, most of the Spiritborn's good stuff looks better on the female models. Hello, everybody. Everything explodes. Everything explodes. I do appreciate that the hell fractures really are just that big. They make seeing the ground a lot harder when it comes to enemy, like, attacks, but fuck it. It's still impressive. Goodbye. Everyone explodes. All right, Nyrel, where are you at? Boom. Oops. Not my fault, it's usually bare belly and skin tight suits. Yeah, I mean, I kind of had to do the same thing with this, because some of the chest pieces for the warlock are pretty notorious. Like, this one still has a little bit showing, but at least it has like metal around it, so you can at least somewhat see it. And the legs have a lot where it's just like, do you want to see my thighs? It's like, okay, well, I don't, but I'm sure somebody does. Ah, yes. Oh, right. Let's see here. I skipped the Archfiend skills. I don't need anything more there. We're still waiting on level 40 to get the Hellfire version of Terror Swarm. So I do need that. I guess if that's the case, let's just increase Hell Fracture damage. Nothing wrong with that. Press the scantily, specifically to lure in lustful demons. That goat you have follow you is lustful? Maybe. I don't know if it's not the casual player one, because casual players love sparkly shit, but I wish Blizzard did more grounded sets, because the new classes honestly almost exclusively have rave outfits, while the older classes have some more grounded sets in the lore. The thing is, though, is that most of the grounded stuff tends to be the stuff that drops in-game, or at least more grounded by that class's standards. The stuff in the cash shop is obviously meant to just be fancy ass shit. And quite frankly, I don't think that's going to change, Tenwin. No offense. I don't think Blizzard gives a crap as long as it keeps making the money. Bye. Farewell. Everything must explode. Zap. I don't remember what we actually have to do with this place. I think you just wander around for a bit, and then you find the way out. Eventually. I don't remember. It's been a while since I played this part. Have I mentioned that? I think I've mentioned that a couple of times. To be fair, as I said, Act 1 really is like the weakest of the acts. All right.
In an illusion created by the Horadrim. The portal will lead you through this crude trap.
Well, hello, bloodied wolf. I won't say who it really is until we...
Relax.
I think he reveals it pretty soon.
Come to you here.
Oh, there's the Tristram theme. You can hear it. One of the most iconic fucking music pieces of all time. You know, I thought that maybe there was more around here, because I haven't actually explored this place before, but nah, it's just the Hell Dimension stuff with a vaguely Tristram-looking shape. Hello, chocolate voiced wolves, voiced by Steve Bloom. Really? That's Steve Bloom? Sometimes I forget his range, but that's because so many places hire him, and then they're like, hey, we just want you to do your Spike Spiegel voice.
An admirer of sorts. I saved you in the mountains. You'd lost your horse and crawled into that cave. Would have frozen to death if not for me.
Get to the point, demon. What do you want?
Oh, it's very simple. You want to stop Lilith, and I want you to succeed. But you'll never do that.
You can hear it? I can't. But that might be the slight reverb they added to his voice to give it the demonic effect. And I think that might be throwing me off slightly. Because I didn't realize it before.
Always ends in fire and death.
Because as I said, you forget just how wide of a range Steve Bloom has. Again, partially because so many places hire him. And then they just have him do his Spike voice. And that's all he does. Puts a spike collar on the wolf. You are my pupper now. Wait, what? No, that a warlock would know that trying to do that out of the blue is not a good idea to a demon. Because if you don't know... The whole thing that it even shows in the warlock quest, or at least implies, is that warlocks don't pick their targets at random. They study the demon, they figure out what its weakness is, they figure out exactly how powerful it is and exactly what they need in order to contain it, and only then attack. The warlock is actually implied to be, they are meant to be very smart in this regard, because overstepping that is how you end up getting dragged off to hell. Could you imagine the warlock crying? It would be funny. It would be very, very funny.
To warn you, a day will come when the Horadrim stumble. Don't be there when they do. The portal will lead you to that little girl you're looking for.
You think he would let you try out of amusement? Maybe. It's hard to tell with this version of him.
I like the world the way it was, without Lilith. Her little game of rebellion will only lead to chaos. You've already seen visions of the damage she can do. Yes, I know you have fed her blood. Do you feel it changing you? Perhaps not yet. But as long as Lilith walks in your world, it is only a matter of time.
His voice is like chocolate.
Tristram, the Horadrim of old imprisoned Diablo, the Lord of Terror beneath the earth. And then they built this town nearby. You can see how that turned out.
I will say the one thing There is a downside to the events of Diablo 2, Diablo 3, and what they imply here in Diablo 4. Because it talks about how the prime evils largely just used they used the rebellion of the lesser evils in order to get to Sanctuary. Is that every change they make that makes the prime evils look more competent, which I do like, because in the original they did seem like a pack of goobers, retroactively made the Haradrim look like absolute morons. And I'm slightly annoyed that like the Haradrim don't need to be like the best of the best, but I'd appreciate it if they didn't keep taking L's literally everywhere. There's a long history of Diablo games, 3's voices, Immortal here. Yeah, no,
I think I've lost
well, it's also
my way.
Steve Blum. He's prolific. He's in
Same thing
everything.
happened to my mother and me earlier on. The trail to the vault ends here, so it should be somewhere around in these woods.
Isn't that kind of the point? Haradrim are just mortals. They can only do so much against demonic gods. I know, but at least in around Diablo 2 time, it still felt like, okay, the Haradrim weren't able to win the war, but they won some key victories on behalf of humanity. But then Diablo 3 revealed the full extent of Diablo's plan, and then Diablo 4 shows us what Mephisto's been doing, and it's like, no, they didn't even win the battles. They didn't even, like, win a Pyrrhic victory. They just lost. They just lost. And it's like,
Someone toying with us.
I don't know. It's one of those cases where it's like, it's nice when the player character is not the only competent person in the room. And unfortunately, the way the Haradrim have been portrayed really makes it feel like you're the only competent person in the room. And I mean, you are saying there's only so much they could do against demonic gods, but the original source material for the Haradrim back in the Diablo 1 manual openly states that they were some of the greatest sorcerers and magic practitioners that have ever existed. The first generation of Haradrim were no joke. Many of them were veterans of the war between the Vajeri mage clans. These guys were powerhouses by the not even just by the standards of their time. As we found in Diablo 3, Zoltan Kulle was basically unstoppable. And yet they still, like, it's not even a case of they won the battle but lost the war. They just straight up lost.
The Haradrim Vault.
It would be mad funny if Diablo never shows up in Diablo 4. It'd be a little, actually, I would find that a little annoying, simply because I'd like him to at least, I don't necessarily need us to fight him, but I would love to see Diablo and Baal's take on what Mephisto's been doing. Because remember, they work together sometimes, but the prime evils deep down still despise one another.
Not what I expected.
I mean, Diablo's plan in 3 was basically to fuck over all of his siblings so that he could ascend as the prime evil.
To help us cross the Black Lake and stop Lilith.
Yeah. I know you need the book, Mayrel. Let's go.
Sealed shut. What of the
Can the prime
passage over
evils
there?
even do anything other than hate? We do know that they are still driven by the emotions that make them up. Like, I remember in the Sin War books, Odyssean, the strongest of the Nephilim, the greatest of the Nephilim, managed to pull off like a magical attack that reflected Diablo's own terror back on himself. And Mephisto himself acknowledged, like, yeah, the only thing Diablo fears is himself. Good job. That was actually funny to watch. Mephisto compliments Odyssean as just like, I am never going to forget the look of my own brother's face and having to deal with his own fear effect. It's hilarious. Because Mephisto hates his siblings as much as he does everyone else. Diablo is terrified of what his existence could imply, which is partially why he was the one that most sought out to become Tathamet again, to reunify as the primeval. And Baal, as the Lord of Destruction, just is an omnicidal maniac. Like, he can cover it up, as we see in the Lord of Destruction intro, and in some of his dialogue. Baal knows how to cover it up and play the lawful evil, but deep down, Baal is an omnicidal psychopath.
This is... I think it's written in Haradrim code. And here, the same symbol on the door. I have an idea.
I haven't read the Diablo 2 manual. I'm missing out on the experience. You should. The Diablo 1 and... Okay, so in general, Lord Brown Bear, I'm just going to say this. If Blizzard prints a manual for their older games, find a PDF of it. Just do it. Most of the world building is in it. Most of the backstory is in it. You'll have descriptions of things like even basic skills. Like the Diablo 1 manual has a like 2 to 3 long paragraph description for every magic spell in the game. Like, it is a masterclass in world building. The StarCraft 1 manual is still to this day one of the best manuals they ever printed.
Hey, wait for me.
Well, then get in here. God, I forgot how slow this section is.
It's the same seal as before. Should be easy enough to break it again.
I think honestly D2 and D3 did not give the Primevals the image they should, because I've said before, they don't really seem to give their name as much credit as they should. Lord of Terror, Lord of Hate, Lord of Destruction. The books do a much better job of that, Tenwin, I'm not gonna lie. Although I think in Lord of Destruction, Ball actually got a pretty good shape. I think they did show Ball pretty well in Lord of Destruction. It's just that his screen time is still fairly limited.
What am I looking for?
Now, Diablo and Mephisto in Diablo 2 and Diablo 3, not very well. Diablo got a little bit better when it was sort of revealed that his grand plan was to get the other Prime and Lesser Evils killed so that their souls would be forced to merge in the Black Soulstone. That's the kind of long-term thinking that was actually an interesting plot point. But Mephisto, for example, like, we didn't get anything until now, until Diablo 4. So I am glad they did that, and I am glad that they do a very good job with Mephisto. Diablo's plan was to become Taphomet. Yeah, he reverse engineered the thing that had caused Taphomet to break. He reverse engineered it in order to try and get all of the evils unified once again. And then simultaneously take full advantage of the fact that the Haradrim were at their lowest point by using his servants in the Triune in order to trick them. Like, Diablo showed that he could play the long game, which is something that Baal definitively cannot, and Mephisto has not been shown to until now. You need to go away. Please die. Please die. Everything must explode. Boom. Call me Demo Man with how I'm working here. Yeah. Who's left? There's always some grand irony to killing beasts made of fire with a fiery explosion. Like, how do you burn to death that which is made of fire, and what would it feel like? Like, imagine the horror of a fire elemental that is immune to fire burning to death. Would they be even able to comprehend what was happening to them? I'm just saying, if Diablo pops up again, I want them to really go full Lilith and Mephisto with this betrayal. Him popping up in a city or even being summoned or whatever should cause the city to tear itself apart just by his presence without even lifting the block. Yeah. If I recall correctly from what I read, the other side of the coin as well is that part of the reason Diablo is able to plan for the long term is because he's actually, this is kind of fun to say, but by the standards of demons, he's the nicest of them to work for. Like, Mephisto hates his own servants with a burning passion. He hates all existence. Baal is just, as I said, an omnicidal maniac. Hold on, let's deal with you. And most of the lesser evils are not much better. Diablo actually is one of those cases of like, look, as long as you serve me competently, I'm going to reward you. Like, I'm going to actually fulfill my bargains with you. Just make sure you actually follow my instructions. If you fuck up, that's an entirely different question. But compared to Mephisto, who occasionally just sent his soldiers out to die for no reason, and Baal, who occasionally purposely killed his own armies for shits and giggles, Diablo's practically a saint by comparison when it comes to working for him. Yeah, like, Diablo showing up shouldn't even be in person. It should be like, you think you're tracking the Lord of Terror, and then it turns out you were just following one of his lackeys because Diablo couldn't even be bothered. And he's already caused a lot of problems just by being around without even having to
Now,
interact.
why would a demon give a damn about a book?
I don't know.
Reckon
Let's find
we'll
out.
see. Better get back to Nerel.
Where is she? And yes, there are some writings in, I think, the Sin War trilogy where it explicitly states, like, Diablo didn't have to do anything with a lot of his shit. He's just, his mere presence causes problems, more so than the others. Outside of Belial, most of the lesser evils are remarkably stupid and straightforward. Why? What happened to my tracking? Okay, that was weird. I saw that. What the hell happened to my tracking there? Even Asmodan, the supposed Master General, isn't portrayed as particularly intelligent. But actually with Asmodan, there is an interesting case as to why Asmodan has... What the fuck is up with my tracking? What the fuck? Hold on. You feel like... No? Okay, so if I turn too far to the left, it loses all tracking. What the fuck? Okay, that's... Okay, that's just weird. That's just weird. Okay, where was I? So the interesting thing with Asmodan though, Tenwin, remember he is the what is it? He's the lesser evil of sin. He represents the 7 deadly sins in their excesses. One of those what is it? One of those sins is pride. Now he is a decent general. The book portrayals of him actually show that he is a decent general. But the fact that he is bound to his nature and the lesser evils, it is pointed out that part of the reason the lesser evils are the lesser evils is because they are even more intrinsically bound to their natures of what created them than the prime evils are. So like Duriel's the greatest example. Duriel is almost an animal. He doesn't have thoughts. He just kills and maims and destroys. He's almost as omnicidal as Baal, but with none of the intelligence. The only other person who can communicate with Duriel is Andariel, and that is because she is his twin sister. That is the only reason she can. No one else can, aside from the primevals who can kind of just force Duriel to go in the direction that they want him to kill things. He's literally a mindless brute in the purest definition of the word. Belial has kind of the opposite problem. Belial is the most intelligent of the lesser evils. The problem is, though, Tenwin, he represents lies, including lies to the self. When Belial, if you've seen his dialogue from his like post-game fights that he shows up in with Diablo 4, and he talks about how amazing and grand he is, Belial legitimately believes his own lies. He has gaslit himself into believing that he is actually the strongest of the evils, and it's just a matter of time before he takes control of everything. Like, they all have their problems. And part of the reason the primevals are the primevals is because they try to transcend those issues, rather than just reveling in them. Funnily enough, of the lesser evils, the one least defined by her nature is Andariel, but because she's the Maiden of Anguish, and the pain is constantly happening to her as well as those around her, she's kind of screwed in that regard, because she's basically been nerfed, which kind of sucks. Especially because she gets basically used as a fucking, like, a roadblock in Act 3, or Act 2. I can't even remember if she's in Act 3 or if it's Act 2. Like, she shows up as a mini-boss, basically, not even a full boss. It's kind of sad.
Interesting. This ledger was written by the Haradrim. This is chronicling spells and theories created by Rathma, the first necromancer.
That's not what we're looking
Duriel,
for.
the lesser evil of pain. I admire the design choice. The evil of pain is tied to swarms, disease, and insects, and also the cold, because cold and the idea with cold is that your body's basically constantly in pain, even if you can't feel it.
Necromancy.
It just happens.
Demonic rituals.
Diablo 2 first boss, Diablo 4 Act 4 boss, for what I call it. Yep,
This
yep.
path?
Is it Act 4? I thought it was Act 3.
My mother will help us through.
Because Act 4 is Hawazar, right? Or am I misremembering? Hold on, I'm gonna need to look at the map. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Oh no, is it Act... No, yeah, it would be Act 5 because that's Kyrgyzstan. No, you're right, Tedwood. I forgot. For some reason, my brain constantly connects Kyrgyzstan and the dry steppes because they're very similar, like, environmentally. And my brain forgets that these are two separate zones. It's not helped by the fact that Kedbardu is, quite frankly, a very forgettable zone. I'm just gonna be honest. I forget that this place exists. No one goes to the city there for anything. People would rather hang out in Kyrgyzstan or in Kurast. It has, like, no real identifier that isn't also in Kyrgyzstan. And Kyrgyzstan also has Chaldea. Duriel is unironically also a boss in Kyrgyzstan, but in Act 5 or 6. I don't know if that counts. Yeah, I remember he shows up at some point. We'll get there when we get there. And now we have to go back to that other dungeon for the other half of Nerel's quest. Do I need this? No. Like, I'm gonna be, like, Dry Steppes I forget exists, as I've said. Like, Fractured Peaks has an identity. Saragar has an identity. Kyrgyzstan has an identity. Zarbinzet has an identity. Kurast and Nahantau has an identity. The Dry Steppes really doesn't. It's almost an extension of Kyrgyzstan, which, in some ways, I can respect, because historically, the Empire of Kyrgyzstan controlled all of this as its core territory, and reached into parts of Skosklin, Kiovashad, Zarbinzet, and Kurast. It was the power of the Eastern continent for the longest time. But yeah, I forget that the Dry Steppes even exists. And now we have to go back and do this dungeon again. Come along, Valok. Right, that was your name. You need to help me kill things. Goodbye. I do wish we would get a couple of legendaries dropping. Like, we've seen literally one so far. Usually I get one every 5 or 6 levels when I'm leveling up, but I haven't seen any but the one. That's why it rules being a Stormtrooper, because you activate Cataclysm and just ignore enemies for the next minute and a half. We're just gonna... I hate invisible enemies. That's why everything must explode. I mean, you don't have to tell me anything that I don't already know, Tedwin, because I was playing a Brandish Aura Paladin in fucking, throughout most of the beta. And that shit is literally just auto-attack anything that survives even getting close to you. Fucked, get fucked, get fucked. I have artillery. Fucked, get fucked, get fucked. I do wish the trines would last a little bit longer. They always feel like they run out really fast. But I guess they are fairly powerful. So maybe I shouldn't complain too much. A-boom. Honestly, my main is at the stage where if I want New Gear, it's a fight of who hits first, because I can instantly vaporize most enemies, but their hits and explosions can do the same. Yeah. I mean, that's just high-end action RPG gameplay in general. Given how hack and slash games like this work, it means that at some point, statistically, attempting to jump someone becomes more dangerous than being jumped. Yep.
I'll explain on the way.
Wait, what? Oh, okay, right. Yep, we have to go all the way there, and then we have to do an entire new dungeon inside there that is basically a repeat of this one. Oh. Blow yourself up. Right, we gotta go this way. I'm just gonna do this. I'm just gonna do this and explode you to death. Goodbye. Ah, my nose. Itchy. No, I'm liking this setup. I'm liking this setup.
The description of the ritual was difficult to understand, and the notes weren't much better.
That's okay. I'm sure you'll be fine.
Talk with my mother again.
That's probably not a good idea. I don't remember this scene, but I'm pretty sure that's not a good idea. Right, that's one of Bernard's talking points. There. Why am I here? I was like, what was making that noise? Now I know.
The breeze coming from the Black Lake. Do you feel it? Let's hurry.
Ah! I fucking hate these things. I don't know what enemy designer decided that the Fallen should have a teleportation ability, but fuck them. Discovered that Storm Strike has a new node that causes it to chain enemies for decent damage, but also has the benefit. Hits the first target multiple times, meaning I have 6 time attack and speed increase. Combine that with life on hit, and I'm literally... Yeah, I mean, to be fair, life on hit isn't the best. I found Fortify is usually better, because Fortify basically lets you double your life pool. Now, if you get Fortify on hit, that's great, because that can keep you topped off the entire time. Oh, right, she does revive them, I forgot. Fallen 2, Diablo 2 Fallen are annoying as shit. Yeah, but they're true cannon fodder there. They're absolutely just cannon fodder.
Mother, please, can you hear me?
My little magpie, it's you.
I can save you from this, Mother. I promise. I can learn how to...
Neres,
Why do I need to double my life pool if it never goes below 99%? Because
I can't be
you're not a melee class.
From my own mistakes.
Melee class do have to do that.
This
Remember, I was
body
playing
is
Paladin.
Only a husk. My spirit must pass on. And you must let me go.
Mother, no. I need you.
You need to move
We've also
on,
never
magpie.
received any
Without
confirmation
me.
about what happens to
But I
souls
can
after
help
they
you
die.
one last time
We do know
before
that if
I
you're
go.
marked by a demon, you will be dragged off to hell, but we don't know
After
what
the
happens to
blessing.
normal people. Playing Diablo 4 for the first time.
Your
I've
blood
played through the
is
story
the
90,
necessary
but with the
key.
new expansion, I wanted to play through it again with the Warlock, and we will eventually get to the expansion content later. Less of that in Act 2, though. Have you encountered the real annoying enemy of Act 2, though, Lord Brember, is the question. Have you found the beetles yet?
You were so loved.
Feels a little bad talking over this, but quite frankly, Narelle, you're going to cause more than enough trauma to me over the course of this story. Felt like a melee class when I was literally trading melee blows with the Butcher Boss and out-damaging and out-healing the bastard. The ones that birth spawn when you kill them? No, 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 no. The beetles of Act 2 with electrical damage constantly coming off of them. To be fair, I don't know what class you're playing, so if you're playing a ranged class, you won't have to deal with that problem nearly as much. But if you're playing a melee class, those fucking beetles end runs.
Nero.
The way is open. We have to go.
Druid? Well, I mean,
But
well, that didn't answer my question, because Druid has both melee
do you
and
think
ranged
Lilith is
builds in
even
Diablo
still
2.
here? It's been so long. I'm afraid she's won this one. Besides, I have to take
The
care.
beetles. Here we are in a yellow
of my
desert zone.
mother.
In a yellow desert.
But it's not
I don't
over
know
yet.
what that means. I've been
Not
more galled
for
by the
you.
zombies who keep getting damage. Oh,
Lilith
yeah,
was
the
after
mummies.
Rothma.
Yeah, the mummies that leave
Find
the
him.
poison clouds.
Learn
Those are
why.
also... Yeah, oh, werebear. Yeah, you're gonna hate
I'll be
those.
back
You're
at the
gonna
vault.
hate those. You're
All
gonna
right.
hate those a lot. Well, I mean, I know of its existence, Tedwin, but I'm not a big Beatles fan.
Raw, malignant hatred. Fresh as an open wound. Lilith was here. And she was not pleased.
Still, nope, we need 4 more levels before I can pick up Searing Infestation. Alright, more Hell Fracture damage. And now we have an entire other dungeon down here.
You
Hello,
are the
Rathma.
last visitor to my sanctum. Though you come too late, just as Lilith did before you. For it was my father, Inarius, who arrived here first. It unfolded as my visions foretold. towards the prophecy's end.
I am a little annoyed that Rathma, the first Nephilim, the firstborn of Inarius and Lilith, I kind of am a little annoyed that this basically implies that he just did nothing for a couple thousand years, which is really kind of, I mean, yes, he founded the Necromancers. Yes, I get that. The whole thing with the Necromancers is that they want to balance light and dark because they believe that is the nature of Sanctuary, and that balancing it will produce a better outcome than following pure light or pure dark. I get that, but it's still kind of annoying that this literally confirms that Rathma just sat around for 6,000 years and did nothing.
I saw shattered images of the end of Sanctuary. The scales of a great serpent carried these visions. And so I went to visit him. My and the serpent's thoughts met, and the fragmented future was mended together.
Yeah, sure, dude.
I put it down in order, and the prophecy was born.
Armor, damage multiplier. Oh, all damage multiplier. Critical strike chance. Damage multiplier, critical strike damage multiplier. Let's just get that. That's better. That is not. No. Two-handed sword. Don't want that. Weapon damage. Willpower, life on hit, all damage multiplier. That'll work. Alright. You really think the mummies and beetles will be his problem in Act 2? Really? And not him? Everyone has problems with him. There are several hims in Act 2 that can be a real issue, depending on your build.
I need to destroy the tumors to go any further.
Block. I do also like the return to, like, the body horror element of Hell in 4. They did a good job with that. There's only one true universal problematic him in Act 2. Again, depends on your build, because the summoner can be a right piece of shit. Oh, I can't go that way yet. Zap. Which one was that one? Is that the one up here? Yes, it's just taking a while. There we go. Gives me that kaboom. Nope. You don't get to run away. Goodbye. There. Do I have... Hold on. Oh. Hello. Bye. I was trying to check my abilities. Thank you very much. Yes, standing in the Hell Fracture gives me volatility. I wasn't sure if I had that or not.
Ones that couldn't understand the nature of such a thing.
Oh, I hate that fucking ability.
To interfere.
Ah.
Believing that it was about him.
The art team 8, yeah. No, say what you will. I do believe Diablo 4 just has better art direction overall than probably any game. It does take a lot of the stuff from Diablo 2 and brings it into the modern era. Properly, I think. Diablo 3 really didn't have that, with the exception of Reaper of Souls. Reaper of Souls was, I still think, a better return to form. As I said from the start, even when people said that Diablo 4 was bad, Diablo 4 has the best atmosphere visual vibes in the series, bar none. Yes. No, I agree. Art design-wise, music design-wise, all that shit, Diablo 4 was already solid. It's just that the first, like, year of the game's life was very rough in terms of what Blizzard was doing. I mean, to be fair, they had the exact same problem with Diablo 3. Different types of problems, but the same issue. Like, Diablo 3's initial launch was an absolute goddamn nightmare. I was there. I saw it. Goodbye. No. Stay there. Nope. Sons of bitches. That blade, that axe, you all need to explode. So do you.
So I locked the gates to hell. It was only a matter of time before Inarius would discover what I'd done and come demanding the key.
I mean, I guess you could argue, yeah, the whole locking the gates of hell was probably important, but I mean, it didn't really stop. To be fair, from the sound of it, and from what I recall, he locked the gates in such a way that nobody could go in, but things could still come out. Let's try to play Diablo Immortal just as a fine. It's the only Diablo game I haven't tried. The story was unremarkable, but then I hit a level requirement wall and just went, nah, it takes too long to grind levels. Understandable. Diablo Immoral. Diablo the April Fool's joke. Is this a out-of-season April Fool's joke? That one man just shit-canned all of Blizzard in that single moment. And it was deserved. It was entirely fucking deserved.
Oh, you refuse to give me the key. You stand in the way of the Savior. The holy blood in your veins should be boiling.
Nothing you do will change the future I saw.
I create my own destiny.
That's the name of man, Jesus Christ. Imagine saying there for Diablo 30 crime revealing a phone game.
Just a small part of it.
Yep. And next year they announced Diablo 4. Yeah, all they had to do was drop a teaser trailer for Diablo 4, and the entire crowd would have cheered. The entire crowd would have cheered. There we go. I believe we get another cutscene with Lilith coming up.
All you must
Once we get past fucking Inarius and Wrathful.
In hell, the high heavens will welcome me home, where I belong.
As I said, the great irony about this whole conversation is that they did reveal in like book stuff between the events of Diablo 3 and Diablo 4, Imperius just told the angels to just stop even going or looking at Sanctuary. He just straight up told them, ignore Sanctuary, ignore all of it. So more than likely, no one even knew Inarius was doing this shit because none of them up there are even paying attention to this crap anymore.
This place. I'm being followed.
When they announced Warlock, they teased major content in September. Yep. Victorious in Hell. Yeah, sure. Yeah, we'll get there. Don't worry. There are people who haven't played this story, Penguin, so don't spoil it. Balance is sanctum. It's just a shame you can't really see much. And in a way, I suppose this could be considered like the original Necromancer Temple, because it's probably where he trained his first disciples. Did the books reveal what Imperius thought about Tyrael? If I recall correctly, he still, like, the funny thing is that even after giving up his angelic nature, Imperius still saw Tyrael as a brother, basically. Because that is the one thing about Imperius, is like, yeah, he hates mortals. He does. He hates mortals almost on the same level of demons. But he truly does care for the rest of the angelic host. Imperius would literally do anything to protect the rest of the angelic host if he could.
Outsider! Beyond this chamber, there's nothing but death and mourning. How fitting it shall be your grave.
Hey, Knights Penitent, welcome. Thanks for the help. Because right now we can't do this. Nope. Goodbye. Hey, a legendary. Nice. And unfortunately, I know who's inside this thing. Let's get a good look at it, though, before we... Like, I do appreciate that this is essentially Magitech power armor, basically. Faith-driven Magitech power armor. It just sucks that the inside of it is, that armor is so 40k. It literally is. This is like a primitive penitent engine. Oh, Vigo, you poor bastard. Come on, crack it open.
Vigo, who did this? I have done all that was asked. The pain is gone now. This was a just punishment. A stronger man would have refused Venard's bribe. Nerel. Nerel, is she safe?
Yes.
Considering how they're posed, did they cut off his legs? I don't think so. I think they're just jammed. Because notice that the bottom of the torso still goes down a few feet, or at least a little bit. I think they're just jammed into the bottom of the machine.
Will you give this to her for me? I should never have taken it. It's so dark. I have repented. Do you think I was too late?
Basic and first X pack, still in the initial missions of Lord of Hatred. Kind of plan to be on level 70 and then speed on the story. Understandable.
Do you not see it, friend?
Yes. Yes. I see it now. They have come.
In a way, it's almost more impactful to have a warlock say that, because you know the warlock doesn't believe it, but he knows that Vigo does. Yep.
You didn't need that armor to prove your worth.
That's a generic
friend.
Ability. The duration of any volatility or demon form you game is increased by 176%. Ooh. Oh no, if you have the other. Oh, so it's a Hellfire demon form, not Hellfire occult. Fuck. I thought that was going to be something good. I mean, it's still a straight upgrade, so we're going to be using it. Damn. But how necessary were the spikes? It's a punishment. Yeah. I don't think... Yeah, no, because see how the blood is, like, pooling up? The torso extends down slightly. I think his legs are in there, but the inside is filled with spikes, so he's literally... He wasn't really standing. He was suspended by the spikes in his legs as the bottom of the machine slowly filled with blood. His blood. Yeah, no, it's a punishment. It's literally a redemption. It's a primitive redemption engine from 40k, basically.
I will not ask again.
I will not. Makes me wonder how long those things can be used.
You don't need to.
We don't know. Probably not very long.
Lifted from my corpse, under the watchful eyes of the great serpent in my sanctum. If you are chosen as you say, it will come to pass.
Well, we all know how this is gonna end. Well, except for the people who don't. Yeah.
Where is she?
Where is she? I still think the Batman meme fits for the Warlock. Where is she? Where is Lilith? Tell me.
Is that him? Is that Rothma?
Cutscene time. Wouldn't surprise me if they had some sort of enchantment on them that made the person inside survive more wounds than normal, way longer until it's opened. The fight is done, now you bleed out. Yeah, something like that. Like an enchantment that actually heals them as they are dying to keep them alive longer. That would make sense to me.
I don't know if you would have chosen to stand beside me in this new world, Rothma. But I would have saved your place, just the same. And now, all that you might have been has been stolen from me. stolen.
And Inarius is a dumbass because lo and behold, the key was right there.
This key unlocks more than the doors of hell.
Love Lilith as a character.
It
She's good.
unlocks
I know she's
our
returning in the
path
latest
to
expansion, so I can't wait to see what they do with
made
it.
possible because of the price you paid. Your sacrifice will not have been in vain.
Rathma is the OG necromancer, right? He is the OG necromancer. He is also the first of the Nephilim, the original humanity before they had their powers limited by the World Stone. He is well over 6,000 years old or something along those lines. He has been around for a while. He founded the Priests of Rathma and then kind of let them go off and do their own thing. And it's actually kind of telling that the Priests of Rathma, despite thousands of years, are still like ardent to the original traditions established by Rathma. It's why, surprisingly, necromancy does not, like, necromancy has a bad reputation, like, in terms of like how people perceive it. But as far as we know, there have been very, very, very few corrupted necromancers. The Priests of Rathma actually police their own very well. Angel's an idiot? Yep. Father's tender love. Well, Father's tender lover. I mean, Lilith was on screen 90, so it's not wrong either. It's not wrong either. What killed him? The spear through his chest. I guess you missed that in the cutscene. When Lilith came in to look at his body, his own staff had been impaled through his body. So that's the thing, Lord Bremer, is that being a Nephilim just makes you more powerful. It doesn't make you invulnerable. You're essentially immune to aging, but you're not immune to, you know, someone tearing your fucking heart out. Lover, bitch, she wasn't his lover, she was his rider. I don't know. Lilith strikes me as the kind of woman who is the penultimate switch. Some days she wants to be on top and completely turning Inarius into her bottom bitch, and other days she wants consensual hand-holding in the missionary position. I was more asking who drove the spear to his chest. Inarius. It was Inarius. Hey, Dweller, welcome. I see you in the YouTube chat. Gave MechWarrior 5 Clans a whirl last night. Not bad. Yeah, I'll be getting to that eventually as well once we get through the MechWarrior 5 baseline story. Lilith is a switch, if you're stronger than her, so she is dominant. Yes, but Inarius was like the one person who was, so... Because don't forget, when Inarius helped create Sanctuary, he got a sliver of the World Stone's power basically imbued into him. He did, for a time, become like the strongest angel in existence. So you say Inarius is a total sub, hard on the missionaries. No, it's... The reason I'm saying Inarius would do it missionary styles because I imagine that's all angels know. Oh, right. This is why I hate this place. You can't just teleport back to where Nyrel is. You have to walk all the way back. Because someone at Blizzard is a fucking idiot. Inarius is an innocent little choir boy. He unironically started as that. Like, if you look at the books, he pretty much did start as that. To be fair, most of the angels do. Like, it took Tyrael watching humanity nearly get snuffed out before he started to develop a conscience. And Imperius is just a jackass. And Malthael went off the deep end. Walking, 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 Blizzard won't let me teleport out of this dungeon, you fox! Then you have Malthael over here in Hardcore Goth listening to Black Parade. I think he went a bit beyond that. Black Parade's practically benign compared to the shit Malthael was pulling. I think I say Lilith would need to spend a few weeks to explain what these things are to Inarius. That sounds kind of a bit like Lilith being a groomer now. Oh, she unironically was. Oh, no, 90, you've hit the nail on the head. She unironically was. It is implied that she did develop feelings for Inarius legitimately after a while, but initially she was entirely abusing him and mentally manipulating him in order to get her hands on the World Stone. She straight up was grooming him. 110%. It was only after Sanctuary got built up and she started essentially being she was away from the influence of her father, Mephisto, the aspect of hatred, that she started to legitimately improve. And then she discovered that the Nephilim were stronger than both angels and demons, and the demonic nature came back and she wanted to build an army of humanity to crush all opposition and conquer the galaxy, or the universe, or the multiverse, or however you wanted to describe it. Malthael's a concept, the Archangel of Death. Well, the Archangel of Wisdom becoming the Archangel of Death, because he went full nihilism. Pretty sure I have to walk out of here too, because the game doesn't let me just teleport out of this place. At least I don't think it does. Nope. And we have to go, yep, we have to walk physically out of this. Or wait, no, I think I can teleport from here. I'm an idiot. All right, fair enough, Blizzard. Yeah, I don't think we ever saw Malthael as the Angel of Wisdom at any point. Again, novels, Tenwin. He does show up in the Sin War trilogy, as well as a few of the other novels that are set in the early portions of the Diablo universe, where he was originally the leader of the Angerus Council, don't forget. Imperius was their top strategist, but it was Malthael who was actually making all the decisions. Are any of these any good? Oh. No, not you. Where's the, there we go, blacksmith, disassemble.
Good salvage that.
Thank you. The problem is that the existence of the Nephilim broke Malthael's brain, because the concept of something having both demonic and angelic nature just went against everything that they had ever known in creation. Such a cool villain. Well, yeah. I hate these fucking things. No, stop chain stunning me. Goodbye. The iron chunk. We need more evil angels. I was really hoping, I remember a buddy of mine when Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls came out, we were convinced that we were going to get one more expansion pack for Diablo 3, and it was going to be centered around Imperius and having to deal with his bullshit. And it was going to be not, and the actual thing, Tedwood, was that it wouldn't be evil angels, it would just be Imperius being, well, Imperius. He wouldn't be fully corrupted the way Malthael was, but he also would not be on our side. It was planned? Yeah.
Vigo wanted you to have this.
Was
Malthael corrupted, or was he just having a personal crisis?
And Lilith?
Okay, so it's a weird one because...
Did you meet her?
It's technically
Already
a bit of
gone
both.
by the time I arrived.
It's heavily implied.
There is more. I can see that.
I'm trying to remember when I was reading up
Lilith
on this
took
to
a
double
key to
check
hell
for
off
before we
Rothman's
did the
body.
Diablo 4 playthrough. So Malthael went into exile or self-seclusion in order to contemplate existence, essentially, to try and figure out what the existence of the Nephilim and the existence of humanity meant for the eternal conflict. The only conclusion he came to is that since the Nephilim have demonic nature, they also have to be destroyed, no matter what. And that turned him from the aspect of wisdom to the aspect of death. There released one mount for WoW, which brought in more cash than all Diablo 3 and all of StarCraft combined. Yes.
Proved to be just as unreliable as I'd feared.
Sorry, Lorith, I'm talking over your narration.
Driven him to murder his son, Rathma. And from the corpse left behind, Lilith had taken a key to hell. Where would she use it? We could only depend on ourselves to find out.
Oh, right. That is the end of Act 1. That is the end of Act 1. Sweet. Should I go clear out that? Yeah, we'll go clear out the stronghold, and then we will proceed to Act 2. Boop. And I think it's faster to go from Nevesk. Still pissed how much skins cost for Diablo 4. Yeah, no, No, I have bought one thing from the real money store, and it's cool, but it wasn't worth it. 110 damage. Maximum life, crit hit chance. Let's go with that one. Break those down. And 37. Nope, we still don't have access to the fire ultimate ability. So, more Hell Fracture. I mean, personally, if we're going to talk about the real money auction house, or not auction house, God, that was Diablo 3. I'm just going to say it. I appreciate that they put silver in the reliquaries, but the fact that it's so little that, like, it's insane. Like, you have enough to get one. You can get the weapons. You can usually get you have the season reliquary, which everybody gets. And then it has enough in it to get the weapons reliquary. And that's it. And that's it. And even if you save up, you need to save up like 10 seasons worth to buy one armor in the shop. Also, I don't know why, but the fact that Blizzard's monetary policy is annoying makes me hate this character. Like, seeing her is aggravating. Like, how much? Yeah, these are all 2,800. If you saved every bit of silver that you got from the reliquaries, you would just now be having enough, because I think we're on season 14, you would just now be having enough to buy one armor skin. The really sad part is I was seriously considering getting the Paladin Doomslayer armor, and if I want to get it, I have like 2 hours. Shit. Fuck me. All right, no, I shouldn't be looking at this. Otherwise I'm gonna actually spend money. Fuck you, Blizzard. That's the sad part. It's like, I hate how much they charge for it, but I gotta give props to the art team because they do a really fucking good job. Is there any indication what happened to the angelic host that served Malthael post his turn when he died? Did a new Archangel of Wisdom form from the crystal? We do not get a confirmation on that. That is supposed to be what happens, because that's the way angels work, is they get reincarnated, sometimes with some of their memories, sometimes with none, from the Crystal Arch, but we have not gotten anything about that. I was thinking about getting the Paladin Sun Armor. That one's a good one too. Luckily, the Paladins have enough, like the Paladin stuff that you can find in-game is actually solid. So I don't even really worry too much about like the Paladin sets, because the stuff that you find in-game is actually really good, in my opinion. Hated the Doom crossover, mostly because I dislike that kind of universe mix-up. I really want the setting to remain true, if that makes sense. I can understand that, but it was kind of inevitable, given Activision. At the very least, at least they did it during the Butcher season, which at least thematically kind of fit. Splat, splat, splat. That said, most of the Doom armors don't look good. Like, they don't look good on the character model. I think the Paladin, the Rogue, and the Barbarian are the only Doom armor sets that actually look good on the character model and don't completely break immersion. The mechanical shield with a buzzsaw is cool, but thematic, no. I mean, I can kind of see it. I'm not gonna lie, Tim, but I can kind of see it with the way the Diablo universe works. I can kind of see it. I'd see it more if it was like a special skin for the Paladin's shield throw, because that would just be kind of fucking hilarious. Do they have the mechanics to make a buzzsaw? Sanctuary doesn't, but Hell probably does. Wait, what the fuck? Game, I told you to take me to the stronghold. What the hell? I was just mindlessly following the fucking waypoint. It decided to change. I do love ragdolling the critters every now and then. It's just fun. All right, hello Nostrava, town of cultists. Open up. I would consider prices fair only if armor weapons were reusable for all classes. Yeah, the weapon restrictions do make it a little bit annoying. That also means
Away with you.
we're closed. Away with you. Don't worry, you'll be open soon once I.
Is that you?
Everything's about to go to hell, and I'm gonna send them there. I love how Nostrava's basically just Nevesk, but a bigger town, and pretty much the exact same shit happened. You just show up a lot sooner. Hello, everybody.
Blessed are you who will die in the Mother's name.
I mean, you really believe that?
Give this stranger the holiest of welcomes.
I'm back. Get back here. Yeah, I know. She teleports away, and then we have to do this whole shit. Well, time to clear the town. Who wants to try and get in my way? Boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. I hope you all have insurance, because I'm about to burn this place to the ground. Oh, who am I kidding? This is Sanctuary. The concept of insurance wouldn't survive.
Over here, help!
Give yourself to
You
hatred.
are loving mother. I'll tear them all down.
Yeah. No, see, I do like because of that clarification with the Warlock, where it's like they never let a demon hold the leash, so to speak. I do like that the Warlock is against Lilith, because it's very much a case of, look, I'm not against using demonic power, but I'm the one who's going to use it, not have it bestowed on me, because I know how that shit ends. Fuck you. I think this and the whole ice area with the Khazra are the best strongholds, very thematic. There's a couple of good ones later on, like the lighthouse one in at the northern edge of Dry Steppes, I think is pretty good. Like the whole, because the lighthouse was taken over, now you have hundreds of broken ships in the area, and all the dead sailors are being raised as undead. I think that's a pretty strong one too. There's a couple of them. The one in Scotland. Is that in Scotland? I thought it was on the northern edge of Dry Steppes, but as we've established, I don't think about Dry Steppes very often. Oh no, you're right. It is in the northern edge of Scotland. Still, my point stands. It's a good dungeon. Or, you know, stronghold, whatever. Goodbye. I love ragdolling demons.
Go, run.
Kaboom. Explosions, explosions, all of you must die. Hello, Mr. Demon, off to hell you fly. There must be something satisfying, or, well, satisfying to us, horrifying for the demon of, haha, I have been summoned from hell, and then immediately just getting shit-canned by an explosion. Goodbye.
Damn church bells again. Who's ringing them now?
Like, haha, I have ascended from hell to feast upon mortal souls, immediately gets blown up by a hell fracture. They don't have insurance in Sanctuary. They do, however, have the Dungeon Inspector. Very strict regulations of what a dungeon is allowed to do and be for safety measures, of course. Yeah. Where are you at? Where are you at, Miss Boss? I know you're over here. There we are. Get fucked. Oh, I hate that fucking ability. There we go. Hello. Any more power? Bye. Yeah, as I said, the only problem with the Hell Fracture is it makes it very, very hard to tell where the AoEs are on the ground. I'll unlock that. That is a plus 44 damage per second. That's probably an upgrade. Plus 1, but a lot of willpower. And an all damage multiplier. Yeah, that's probably an upgrade. Basically what happens to a lot of the bosses in Diablo. They show up, the MC puts their teeth on the curb and applies pressure. Yeah. The worst part is that Blizzard tried to address that, Lord Brownbear. There are multi-phase boss fights that are designed to be a little more challenging, but they fall into the same problem all ARPG bosses are, which is, well, that's great. You made the boss tankier so that the fight takes longer, is more cinematic. I have millions of health and he still one-shots me. So what the fuck am I supposed to do about that, huh? There we go, max rank on the Hell Fracture. Probably, no, still working on that. For right now, just up Doom's damage as well, since that's where most of my damage is coming from. I see spikes, a classic, times the spike throws. I see, 3-second intervals. A bit close to the minimum, but I can let it slide. What's this? Ah, uneven flooring without a designated jump gap. Someone could trip on this and hurt themselves. I'm gonna have to report this. You just know demonic OSHA is truly hellish. All right. Stronghold's clear. I think we actually, did we get a, no, we didn't get a reward for that, unfortunately. Or did we? No. Damn. What do we need to get for the skill points? Cuirass Undercity, Whispers, and complete the level 30 area in the Vault of the Crucible, which... Oh, right. You're not allowed to even do that until you complete the campaign. Fuck you, game. All right, where are we going? Right, time to go visit Donan. Good old gamer subs. I should probably get this shit. Hello, Mr. Blacksmith. I have need of your services. Break all this down. Dankeschön. Dankeschön. May as well grab this side quest while we're over here. I'm not gonna do it right now.
She must be stopped before more hurt. You there, a mad woman with an axe. She massacred my knights like they were children. Her face was pain.
Demon spawns in, instantly struck by lightning, just like the 40 other demons that's got summoned in the last 5 seconds that all died instantly. Yep.
To feed on the blood. Someone must separate her from that accursed axe. The town militia won't stand a chance.
They served as both protectors and...
Yeah, no dialogue on our end, so... What happened?
Do not...
Oh, is she inside? Oh, we can deal with that then. Since she's right here.
You! Anyone but you! Stay back!
And corrupted.
This one begged for mercy. Now she feasts on human flesh.
Fucked, get fucked. Get fucked. Boom. And then, oh god, she ragdolled hard.
Is it done?
Doesn't the demon spawn in now?
Magdalena, light be damned, how did this come to pass? I need your help, and we haven't much time. We'll need to purge the demon from the blade before it can be destroyed. Meet me in the crags of Illwind. My study there is...
I mean, yeah, sure, I'll meet you there, but I don't. I'll talk to you later, buddy. Talk to you later. Did give me a cachet. Ooh, gems. And... no willpower, but the Wrath generation is nice. And it does give me more life and more armor, so... Yeah, we're still at that phase of the game where the individual stats really don't matter, just as long as it's an increase. Yeah, no, we're not going over there right now. Donan time. Actually, I don't know what's funnier, that everyone is just fine with me having a demonic spirit following me around, or if I'm the only one that can see it and hear it, and occasionally it's just like screaming at me, and my character's just smiling because he finds it funny. That seems like something a warlock would do. Boom. Is she a baddie? This is important information. Oh, the lady with the axe? I mean, kinda, not really. She was just an NPC that I helped with a side quest, and then she shows up there for the other side quest because she's been possessed and has to die. Boom. Yeah, now I will give them this. Doom is probably one of the most satisfying basic skills they put in the game. I'm not even gonna lie. Everything just explodes. Oh, okay. So I can't just be standing where the lines are. I have to be standing where the explosion happens. Oh, okay. Fair enough. Still. It's probably invisible. Maybe they hear the occasional pained groan. Probably. Anyone who would be able to see it would probably be a warlock themselves, and they're not going to say anything. Since the implication that I got from the class quest as well is that warlocks are surprisingly common. It's just that, well, the profession has quite a high attrition rate, shall we say. And to be fair, this is 50 years after the events of Diablo 3. I imagine a lot of people turn to various dark magics in order to survive with how Sanctuary went to absolute shit. Konnichiwa, everybody.
Light's blessing. If you have needs, check in with the watch commander.
What makes a good warlock? Well, if I were a bad warlock, I wouldn't be yeah, no, that is kind of the vibe, isn't it? No, hold on. We have to do it with the shitty Batman voice. What makes me a good warlock? If I were a bad warlock, I wouldn't be sitting here discussing it with you, now would I? Edgelord fucking...
I'm looking for a Haradrim named Donan. An old friend of his sent me.
At this hour, I'd wager he's in the keep. Check with the guard at the door.
Comfortable Skosklin. I will say, I think it's mainly the rain and like the cloudiness, but yeah, there is something like quiet and comfortable about Skosklin. Like whenever you're like in one of the buildings or anything and you're just hearing the rain fall and you're just not dealing with all that, it's nice. It's a nice little zone. It's also the closest we've come to like a relatively normal location in like Skosklin as a whole is fairly normal by Diablo standards. What I do find funny is that it is further north than Kyovashad, and yet it is obviously so much more habitable.
He's upstairs in the Great Hall with his son. Keep it quick.
See, and I like little details like this, like doing a mosaic floor showing off their defeat of whatever that demon is. We'll see in a bit. In honor of the great Haradric mage Donan and the brave druids Arida and Nefane, who vanquished the demon Astaroth, that was it, and ended the days of marriage.
Dad, I need to be out in the field with the other knights.
Why the rush, my boy? You know, I found some of my old Haradric tomes. Stay here, and we can go through them together.
I can take some with me. We have a visitor.
So?
This discussion is not over. Is there something you need?
I have a message from Lorath.
Wow. There's a name from another life. Has the old man finally come down from the mountain?
With a warning. An ancient evil walks the land. The demon, Lilith.
And you know this how? Did you and Laura...
Wow, that man is fat. I mean, part of it is the perspective of the camera.
Perhaps this is all connected to what you
saw. But yes, he is fat. But this camera angle is doing him no favors.
Yes,
I believe there's a cutscene that plays where we get a better view of him from the camera at like a neutral perspective. He's not as fat as you think he is, but he's still pretty fat.
Probably best if we discuss it there. Go and have a look around for yourself. I'll meet you shortly.
To be fair, there's a lot of implications that Donan is
As for
fat,
your
but he
request,
never lost his strength, so to speak. Like, there's still muscle under that fat.
careful.
It's just
Stay
that
close
he's
to
also
the other
been
knights
eating
penitent.
good for the last 15 years.
I will.
Further north in the
worry.
Shattered Peaks, elevation, water currents, and such KG. Oh, I know there's perfectly good explanations for it, Tenwin. I'm well aware. It's just funny to me, given game design logic, because most companies don't think that. They just think, oh, it's north, must be cold. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, we'll get a cutscene. Donan is not as fat as he appears, but he is pretty fat. And we will see him in action over the course of the game. He is actually still strong. It's just 15 years of good living means that even though he still has his muscles, they're buried under the fat.
For an old soldier?
And Shattered Peaks says Inarius' cold ass bringing the whole area down. Correct. Hello, Mr. Druid. Give me your quest.
Look at this. These stone tablets contain some of the earliest written works of my Druidic ancestors. All destroyed. The wildlife in the Gautmar grasslands, I don't blame
Yep, stir. I don't think we have any dialogue here. Thank you. I will get it done. Don't you worry. Scotland's the only area in Sanctuary, the Eastern Continent, where I could probably justify them. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. If you live in Curast itself, Curast, the city, is not bad. It's just the rest of Nahantau is an absolute hell. Chaldeum used to be great. Emphasis on the used to be. All right. I'm getting myself confused. I do need to refill my water at the next ad break, though. I definitely need to do that. And we have Donan's little estate here, Firebreak Manor.
Welcome to Firebreak Manor, traveler.
I'm here about the incident.
Scotland is, by sheer comparison, the
Donan gave
least
me
fucked
permission
over
to
area.
look around.
To be fair, that's partly because it got fucked over, what, 20 years ago
That
during
was
the
all
events
he
of the
said.
Days of Ash, and they've had a lot of time to
must be
recover as
referring
compared to a
to
lot of other
study.
places. Also, they have the druids.
Something unsettling transpired there.
Oh no, unsettling. I totally don't have experience with unsettling. Please ignore the demonic goat traveling behind me. I don't want the ad to interrupt the cutscene, so I'm gonna have Twitch run the ad now, and I can refill my water, and we'll be back in a moment. As soon as Twitch feels like it. There we go. Be right back. All right. Okay. Ah. We'll just wait for the ad to finish before I play the cutscene. I was going to say something. Oh, right. So I'm not sponsored by Gamersubs, but y'all know I like them. FYI, I'm pretty sure for the next few hours, they're at the tail end of their free shipping offer right now, as long as you get at least 2 tubs. So if anyone here does drink Gamersubs as I do, pick somebody with a code and go use it, because that's a pretty damn good deal with the way shipping gets fucking absolutely annoying with some of these things. Pick a place to live in Sanctuary? Do I have to? I don't know. Westmarch was looking to be pretty nice before Malthael rolled in and killed everyone. Again, Curast isn't bad as long as you stay in the city and don't go outside of it. All right, there we go. Lilith's blood petals. Time for another cutscene. Wow. Say, I think Skosklin would be it. Maybe try to become a druid. But yeah, Lord Bradbury, you can see here, he's not as fat as the camera angle made him seem, but he is a big guy. Let me in. No shit. That's one hell of a silhouette shot.
This can't be. I know who you are.
And I know you, Donan. Old, tired, each day a struggle to live up to your own legacy.
What do you want with me?
Astaroth.
She's dead.
Astaroth cannot die. Not by your hand.
He's like, bitch, please. I'm a demon. I know how this works.
What have you done with him?
Away, demon.
The channeling the productive value
I
of a
deny
proper
you.
demon. Yep.
You have grown so frail. I can make you the hero you were.
Return to the darkness from whence you came. I said away!
The funny thing is, this does actually show if you do deny Lilith, she has much less indirect power over you. Like, her only option there would have been to actually kill him, but that's not what she wanted. Is he a former paladin? Yes. Well, mage. The Haradrim are weird because the Haradrim...
A signal horn.
The Haradrim take sort of a combined arms approach to their magic. Most Haradrim were trained in a combination of nature magic, arcane magic, regular, like, demonic magic in terms of how to counter it, light magic from, like, paladins and priests and stuff like that. The Haradrim's whole thing when they were founded was they brought together all the magical traditions they could and combined them to try and come up with the best way to fight demons. So classically trained Haradrim have a little bit of everything. To be fair to Donan, 99.9% of heroes older in their prime couldn't have done shit about them. Yes. But my point is that Lilith's greatest strength is still her corruptive nature. She can fight things, as we will see later in the game, very well, in fact, but she doesn't like to resort to that. And part of that, I feel, is she's actively trying to resist her own nature as a daughter of Mephisto. Because the books show that she has basically a minor version of her father's own problems, which is she instinctually hates everything else in existence. Stack of papers bearing the title The Fall of Astaroth. It appears to be an unfinished chronicle of Donan's battle against the demons. Numerous lines have been crossed out and rewritten. Weathered tome entitled The Book of Wards. Notes are scrolled in the margins of a section about fire magic. Large tome entitled The Grimoire of Ash. The pages are filled with ancient writings of Hell's fire demons, and one passage is about Astaroth, the Charred Duke. And also, quite frankly, Lilith would just rather people, you know, follow her than her have to kill them. Like, again, she's not above killing by any stretch of the imagination, but she does actually want people to follow her. Hey, fuck. Nope. I said get fucked. You can get fucked too. Who's left? There. I don't remember why Astaroth was important. He guards the gate to Mephisto's realm in hell. He's one of Mephisto's lieutenants.
Goat men. They've never dared come so close to the estate before.
Perhaps they were drawn by Lilith's presence. I saw a vision of
Warlock's
her
like, dude, you can't lie to me about this. I literally saw her.
What do you mean, a vision?
It's a little, complicated. Let's just say it wasn't my first time.
Full of surprises, aren't you? No wonder you caught Lorath's attention. Well, now you understand my predicament. The daughter of hatred in my own home. She must be furious I cast her out.
I mean, she's the daughter of hatred. Furious is her default emotion.
Who were the others in it?
Why do you ask?
Lilith seemed to leave after seeing them.
Nefane and Arida. The druids who helped me slay Astaroth. Yes. Yes, I think you're onto something. I resisted her, so she might question them about the demon next. There are knights stationed in villages near the druids. If Lilith passed through, they must have seen her.
Well,
I must see to the dead.
We're just gonna speed through this. I want to make sure we get the dialogue.
What troubles me, Astaroth was from the
realm of hate. Yeah, he's from the realm of hatred. Yep.
They were like brother and sister. Arida is consumed with her task and Nefane.
The knights saw Lilith, they doubt they're still there. Well, to be fair, Vigo saw Lilith. He just didn't realize it was Lilith because she was in disguise. Grab that side quest.
The attack on the manor has left many wounds.
Yeah. And then we have to go here anyways. So yeah, let's go grab the waypoint and then we'll get moving. To be fair, if I recall correctly, you can speed run Act 2 very fast. The problem is that Skosklin has a lot of side quests. The actual story, though, is fairly short, too. Skosklin goes by pretty quickly. And welcome to Karagar, the closest thing to a capital Skosklin has. That, thank you. Oh, right, that's a selective thing. Forgot about that. Should I up the difficulty? Try to get us through this a bit faster? We could try our hands at hard. 75% additional experience is usually pretty good. It's usually not worth it to go above that until you're at max level, though. So, where's the quest? There you go.
Poor man must have his hands full tending to so many wounded. I'll pack up everything I can spare and send it off to him immediately.
Thank you. Did you actually give me items? You did. There we go. Ooh. 15% chance to restore, additional weapon damage. Yep, I'll take it.
I forge more than horseshoes and nails. What do you need?
And then you have another quest for...
The Downs is my home, but Sanctuary is dangerous these days. And my parents, my poor old parents, are getting on in age. Who will protect their home?
Roads are perilous, yeah. I get it. All right, let's go. Yeah, let's go deal with Arida first. I remember her area being less annoying than having to deal with Nefane. Sanctuary is dangerous right now. Compared to what? Well, again, do remember that prior to the events of Diablo 2 and 3, Kyrgyzstan controlled most of this region directly as an empire, and it was all fairly stable. Kurast also was highly stable. Between Kurast and Travancore, which was right over here, this region was controlled extensively by the Zakarum faith. That dude wasn't alive at that point. Yeah, but people who were alive, well, some of them might have been. Malthael kind of skews the results a bit, unfortunately. I'm gonna laugh though if we, it would be funny if we eventually do get an expansion that takes us back to Kurast, to the Western continent, and we find out that there are actually areas over here where things have just been fine. Like, it'd be kind of hilarious. We go back, we find out Westmarch has been completely reestablished. Their population's still low, but it's just been completely rebuilt, and they've just built up their army, and it's just like, yeah, we've been slaughtering demons for 50 years. Yeah, it's annoying, but, you know, what are you gonna do? Of course, then something would go horribly wrong, and we'd probably be partially responsible for it, and then probably the entire kingdom would implode again, and it would be our fault somehow. I know how these games work, and I know how Blizzard's writers think. Just imagine if we go back and there's a new Tristram. God, why do people keep setting towns up in this place? I hate those guys. Get out of here. Okay, enemies are a little bit tankier, but honestly, if it's worth the additional 75% experience, then I'm fine with this. Boom. Nope. Fighting an area of the West that's completely fine, like the whole idea of the Thanos step where we took away 50-50 through some sheer absurdity of dice rolls across the entire universe. They lost nobody and noticed. Yeah, like, Malthael killed 90% of humanity. Except for this one corner of the world that took like 0 casualties because some other place got wiped out. They're doing totally fine. How? We don't know. Oh, hello, Mr. Other Player. Name's Microslop. I hope that meme never dies. Microsoft deserves to have that name hung over them for the rest of their existence. Welcome to the town. Breistig. Breistag? Whatever. Let's just grab the side quest while we're here.
My family, they live in Korbach.
Like 90% of their population. I think that old Granny Diana died of a heart attack last night. What? That was it? Yeah.
Not enough food to go around. I came here thinking to earn some coin. Maybe send some food back to them. But I can't afford to leave work long enough to visit them. Would you have it?
Yeah, see that. Oh, worry not. I'll take it. Okay, so the thing is, most of the side quests just don't have any warlock dialogue, so I just don't feel like sitting through it. I'd much rather just keep moving. Side quest over here. What do you want?
Aye. A thief named Darso snuck in with the knights posing as muscle. A bairn was born healthy a fortnight ago. Praise the glowing fire. But the mother is weak.
Still the runic charm.
Bastard probably just wanted quick coin.
Yeah, quick. Yeah, I'll get it. Eventually. Where am I supposed to go? Search for evidence of Lilith's power.
The knights penitent think they understand what's out there. Think they're lights enough to face it. They're in for a shock.
How is sparring and training with dummies supposed to prepare me for fighting ghosts?
I don't remember
what
who
if
we're
they
supposed to
turn
talk
me into one?
Not really that surprising. There's a lot of side quests, them adding unique dialogue and all of it. I know. But, well, to be fair, a lot of them don't have dialogue for the other classes either. I'm just keeping an eye out to see what the, you know, what might have changed with the Warlock. Because so far I've liked the Warlock's slight differences to the other classes, especially the Paladin.
We've got ale. Bread for you too, since you're not a knight penitent.
No bath. We've got folks up there, in Clocheen. They think by flashing Yoren's pretty young face, we'll put our fate in their hands. But Glen folk have always taken...
Can't hunt like we used to. Wasn't safe before.
Who am I supposed to talk to?
Damn deadly now.
Is someone over here? No. Oh, wait.
Need to be sure my daughter has all the warding materials. She'll be fine.
I will send scores
still
of
nothing.
spirits to their
Wood will
rest.
bend like grass in the wind when the spirits arrive. Physical barriers alone will not be enough.
And your talismans and dirt scrolling will give the dead greater pause.
Says the guy, like, dude, you're part of a religion that literally believes that symbology can fight demons, and it does. So don't tell me that the other people's ground scrollings are somehow not going to work.
You picked a fight.
You do the same thing. It's literally exactly the same. You just put it on metal, and they put it on wood and stone.
Pounding. Sweet music for a red day.
Donan sent me.
At least you're not
Wow,
another
the
night
stress
innocent.
on that name. Don't.
At least. It is us who will protect this village with our lives.
Let it be.
There is an ominous fog uphill. Mad spirits emerge from it. They'll be here
More
shortly.
quest interactions, Act 3 and Act 4. Could just have
Are
one
you
summoning
here
thing
to
going
help
on,
us
maybe.
ward
Yeah,
them
we'll
off?
see. We'll see.
I seek a demon who passed through.
So, that's what it was. Well, this day keeps getting better, doesn't it? The demon went uphill to Erida's domain. But unless you want to join the spirits, I wouldn't go there. It's best you stay with us.
I can lead you to Erida.
Out of the question.
I'll be safe. Donan puts his trust in this traveler. So shall we all. Tell me when you're ready to move.
I do feel bad for Yoren, and you'll all see why.
Mind what lurks in the fog.
Guy actually tries to help, and everything is going to go wrong.
If anything happens to you.
She's a legend. One of the druids who fought alongside
There are
my
professional
father to defeat
orders of demon hunters. Then I realized that there are demon hunters in
I
Diablo
was
3, but they aren't
raised
really
on
official per
stories
se.
of her
Yeah.
wisdom and courage.
I mean, one could even argue that the demon hunters are not far off from the way they portrayed the warlocks here in their usage of hatred and whatnot, and the whole idea of using demonic energy to fight demons, but never allowing the demons to hold power over you. It might even be that the modern generation of warlocks was founded by a rogue demon hunter from the Diablo 3 time period. It wouldn't surprise me. Where are we supposed to go? Oh, right. Because they even have the split. I mean, what was it for the demon hunters? It was wrath and discipline was their two mana types.
You've seen how he is.
Which the whole idea was being fueled by their wrath to kill demons, but using discipline to prevent themselves from falling to that wrath. But yeah, they're not official. Like, the demon hunters in Diablo 3 were not backed by any organization. They were literally founded by survivors of mass demon attacks who passed on what they knew. Bye. So long, farewell, Avida say kaboom. You, and you, and you, and you, and you. I hate poison effects. Go away. The demon hunters are essentially demon hunters from the Warcraft universe, just Diablo. No, because the demon hunters in Warcraft actually do infuse themselves with the Fel, and it physically and permanently changes how their body works. Demon hunters do use demonic energy, but they don't incorporate it into them. What the fuck, game? There we go. They don't incorporate it into themselves. In fact, that's explicitly against their teachings. And then survivors that become edgelords as revenge upon the... Oh, yeah. That is completely the same. That is completely the same.
That's the entrance to the cairns ahead. Wait, why is the passage blocked?
All right, get working on it, Yorn.
It's sealed, but there's writing. They look like old druid runes. The Song of Wind, the Howl of... Oh no, They're coming.
Hurry.
I also feel like there's a bit of a misstep with Yorin in this act because I feel like he should have been accompanying you more before what happens to him, because I think it would have sold like, oh, he's gonna be like Nyrel and help join the new Haradrim. And then it would have really been a shit can when you get to the end of Act 2. The depiction just feels a bit too specific, I'm not sure why. Just thinking their depiction in game doesn't feel right. Yeah, I can kind of see that in Diablo 3. At the same time, they also make a lot of sense, like survivors of demon attacks want to kill demons. Big fucking shock. And they're a bit of an edgelord. Big fucking shock. Like, nothing that they do is like specifically a problem, but the way it all adds up doesn't quite fit. They make sense, but something feels off. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Boom.
We shall go back.
No. I said die. God, I hate the fucking... I can't see the poison effect because of the fire effect. No offense, Blizzard, but enemy AoEs should always take visual priority over my AoEs. I don't need to see where my AoEs end. I need to see where the AI's does, though. They lean too heavily into pure cool factor without fitting negative, if that makes sense. Well, their lore does imply that if they lose themselves, they tend to die very quickly. Like if they lose themselves, that's a reason that all in the game, it was even shown by all of their defensive abilities use the discipline resource rather than wrath. If they lose their discipline, if they give into their wrath, they very quickly die because they basically go on a suicidal rampage and then get killed. And it's heavily implied that most demon hunters in the Diablo 3 time period didn't do most of their recruits die young because they aren't able to achieve that balance. So it's like a high attrition rate, so to speak.
The dead are stirred here as well. Yet, Erida's absence gives me greater concern.
Oh. Goodbye. But I do agree they do lean a little bit too much into the rule of cool. And you can see that with the way that Blizzard should have just bit the bullet and given him a gun. Repeating magical crossbows is just such an overused trope, and I hate it.
Been here?
Only through the stories he told.
There's also the cultural lack, potentially. I mean, you get a little bit of it. If you go back to the Diablo 3, like, announcement stuff for the various classes, there's a little bit for the Demon Hunters. Because, again, it's like survivors passing on their knowledge and stuff like that.
Doesn't seem right.
But yeah, they are a bit lacking compared to the Crusaders, who are an offshoot of the Paladins, the Necromancers, who've had multiple major lore drops. The Witch Doctor, who, despite coming out of nowhere, actually got quite a bit of building in Diablo 3.
Erida would not have barred the path of the dead like this. The spirits should be free to roam within the earth.
Lilith?
Strange. The door is locked with an earthen seal. What was it my father said about this? Wardstones, that's it.
If you bring me one from the nearby cairns, I think I can open the way.
Alright. Let's go. Oh, not this way. Other way. Up. There. Get out of here. There. Let's turn that on. There we go. No, I need you to die. I need you to explode and die. Thank you. There. Get that. I meant the other classes have ties to culture, cities, homes, making sense that, hey, these people come from this area. I can imagine decades or centuries of practices to create this person. Demon hunters don't have that. Well, yes, but again, that's partially intentional, Tenwin. This is literally someone who's, in many cases, had their childhood, because a lot of their recruits were children who survived by miracle, literally have, like, they've had their lives stripped from them. All that is left is vengeance. Yes, it's edgy and it's stupid, but that is, you can't say that it's bad writing when they're literally written to be that way. You can say that it's a bit lazy, I'd agree with you there, but it's not necessarily bad when it does exactly what it was set out to do. These people have lost everything, including their very childhoods, their innocence, everything. So they turn that into anger to then fight the demons.
Maybe
Just saying it's a factor that they are missing that makes it feel slightly appealing. Yeah, which is I also think partly why they didn't make a return. Like, I think that fed into it. Like, I don't think they're going to ever make a return. That's assuming any of them survive. Between Malthael's culling of the world and the subsequent demonic invasions, the demon hunters might have just died out. And if there's no one to carry on their legacy, if there's no surviving demon hunter to take on new apprentices, they're gone. Period.
Something's written on the altar.
Oh, level 40. Good. You can finally grab the fire ability down here. Stays around you, dealing 504 damage per hit. Yes, thank you. Now, do I want to improve that, or do we want to... So we've already maxed out Hell Fracture. I guess we can start improving this. Periodically pulls enemies into the center of the swarm. Terror Swarm spawns and instantly kills 3 lesser demons every second. Bites up to 2 additional times, makes enemies vulnerable, and takes 20% increased damage from Archfiend skills. The problem is that all the Archfiend skills are demonology, not occult. So they're not useful for this build in the way I'm having it set up. So. There we go.
By stone and root, by tears and pain, we bear this flame that must remain. Dead eyes stained with ash and ember, cursed are we who must remember. Ah, an elegy written by Erida. This is a memorial to all who died fighting Astaroth.
The weak perish.
All right, come on, Mr. Ghost. I can burn you. I can burn you the same as I do the zombies. Yep, and there's corruption everywhere. Yep.
Wait! We are not your enemy.
Oh, let's see how well this works. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Okay, I just become a raging maelstrom when I activate all of these. Oh, I love it. Because all of these abilities now follow my character.
Lilith.
Oh, that's
She
cool.
must be bending these heels
Look at
for
all
her
that.
will. Erida would never stand for it.
I just pressed 1, 2, and 3. I activated Dark Prison, Sigil of Chaos, and Terror Swarm all around me and just became a vortex of death.
We don't know that yet. Come on.
Nice. That's what I'm talking about. I hate it when they do that. Oh, you walked into a room. Turns out there were spirits behind you. Hate that. Come on, cast the spell. Goodbye. I really don't like those bloated corpses. They're always annoying when they show up. Yes.
This must be the cairn of the elders. So much defiled.
Yep, you can see the flesh
Demonic
growths.
scars upon their grave and druid runes to rouse the dead. These runes, the delicate touch. This is Erida's work. Why would you be aligned with a demon?
It happens. Demons find the sickness in your soul. They promise you the cure. Then they bend you to their will.
Huh.
Erida was sworn
Warlock
to
calls
keep
it
the
in
dead
one.
at
I'm pretty
peace.
sure the other classes don't say anything nearly as accurate for this.
What do we do?
Warlock called it
We'll need
right
to
from the
stop
get-go.
her.
Just like, nope, she probably got manipulated, and once the demons have a hook in you,
Solutions are
they
found
don't let go.
ahead, not behind, as Father says.
See, I like stuff like that. The Warlock should have more insight into Lilith's corruptive nature. He deals with this shit all the time. Also, I do have a feeling that the, I would like to also see when we get to the druids, if the warlock will be a bit less sympathetic, because the warlock's whole shtick is like, you never let demons have like control over you. So by giving control over them, that is the worst possible fucking thing you can. A lot of barbs, really icky to pull out. Lots of stitches, literally. Ear. Scratch my ear under my headphone. Ah. Oh, I really don't like the vengeful spirit. I really don't like it. Invisible enemies in general, I don't think should really... I don't like them in ARPGs. They're annoying.
Something.
Go away.
Screaming in rage ahead.
The idea of a warlock telling the most dad jokes makes us laugh. I can kind of see it. So long, farewell, you two all blow up. Come on. There we go.
Oh no. That was one of the revered dead from the cairns.
Returned to the worms. May they find rest.
Arlo.
Did you think we'd so easily join the dead, lad? How did you find your way up here?
Through the cairns.
Through them? Mighty brave of you. And mighty foolish. Erida came through with a horned woman. Not her normal company, to be sure.
Ah. Lilith.
They headed towards
I'd like to imagine that Lilith does have a bit of a glamour, but she can't hide the horns fully. Like, no matter what she does, she always looks like she has the horns, even when she tries to look like a normal person.
If your aim is to follow them, you
Horned
won't
woman
get
didn't know
far
she was a
with all this
lesbian.
fog.
That joke does not work.
It seems to be drawn to the risen remains. We spotted others in the hills before this one
Also,
tore from
I don't
the
think
air.
the demons in Diablo really have a concept of sexuality. They're just, most of them are just attracted to pain.
The stones defend us, lad. I remember when you were still
I'm staying, Arlo.
Stubborn.
Damn,
like
2
your
people
father.
just got banned in a row
That
from
will
the
keep
spam
you
bot.
alive.
Nice going. Hey, I hate those things.
I
Where
told
is
them to
everyone?
stay put,
I'm sure they're safe.
but fear has a
Hey, why
much
did you
safer
stay?
than stumbling through all this. My answer.
Yep, we've seen all this.
I'm a friend of his father. Met him in. If you asked him, hasn't come up this way in a long. Now and then, I'd even go and share a pint with him and his fan.
Have enough food to last us weeks.
Not so much to learn from someone like.
No dialogue updates there. We just need to get to these. I assume Lilith would have a way to guide herself. It'd be very suspicious that 7 or 8 foot tall woman with horns and wings walking through town. Yep. No, as I said, like, she probably has some kind of glamour. I just find it kind of funny that if she does, and she probably does, she still can't hide the horns. Like, I'm sure they're not as big as her normal self, but they're probably still noticeable. Maybe she plays it off as being part of like a headdress or something. Ah! Go away. What annoying invisible enemies. Be gone. I said be gone. Stump. Like the idea maybe they're hidden from standard view, but it's revealed in like reflections or something, but that doesn't fit with the way people talk about her. No, as I said, I think it's more like a helm or like she plays it off as a helm or something, or maybe even like a curse if someone asked her directly. Although, to be fair, her mere presence seems to indicate that nobody ever asks her a question about it directly. But she also doesn't communicate with people when she's just traveling around usually. She usually has someone else with her doing the talking. Like Nerel's mom. Or Erida here. Goodbye. I stop dodging my explosions. You're not allowed to do it. He's dead. Would you try and ask if you saw her? I mean, my character? Probably. Me, personally, she probably would just flick her wrist and kill me. Be gone. Let's see if let's drop anything. Oh,
what is this?
And some. mean, like, come on. I think we've established that Lilith is a very attractive woman one way or the other. So it doesn't surprise me that most people are scared shitless to talk to her. What is this amateur shit? Yeah, yeah. No. Amethyst, blue item. Ooh. Yet. Anything good that we picked up? That one's fine. That's a big upgrade. And oh, +1 to core skills is not bad, I guess. All right, where's number 2? Stop it with the spellcasting. You die. Is that a... Wow, that's a champion bug swarm. I was wondering why I couldn't tell what I was fighting. It's because it was an insect. A very tiny insect.
The fog is thinning now.
There we go.
I should check on urine.
That. What do you want from me, mortal? Stop it. No, I want to draw you. Confused for a second before she strikes a pose. To be fair, she has enough aura. I don't think Lilith even needs to strike a pose. Just her walking around is enough. I mean, you saw that silhouette shot when she was going into Donan's office. Like, woman has natural aura. Not surprised in the slightest. Okay, you all need to stop. You all need to stop. Enough with the shooting. Enough with the shooting. Fuck you. Get out of here. There we go. There we go. Goodbye. Oh, come on, guys. I'm literally 5 feet from the area of attack. Get out of here with this bullshit. There we go.
The roads are clear now. We need to get to Braystack. It's safer there.
We've lasted this long and survived worse.
You've been fortunate.
Braystack, swarming with those cathedral gobshites.
Please, Arlo. Just for now.
Maybe we should go with him, Dad.
Well,
see, as I said, I would have liked Yoren to be more present in Act 2 because he's like the only person who like bridges the gap between the cathedral and the locals.
I will. Thank you.
I just feel like it would have been more, it would hit more if we had seen him more in this act. Get out of my way, get out of my way. Must burn. Thank you. Goodbye. I do also like that Fracture basically has unlimited range. As long as I can see the enemy, I can pass it on them. It's nice to have skills like that. Goodbye. There we go. That.
They're rising from the cairns.
Yes, Mr. Warlock, I am well aware of that. It's the fucking... Ow. It's you. It's you. There we go. Ba-boom. Anybody left? Nope. That'll work. I said, go away. Thank you.
Have you seen the signs as I have?
Erida.
Hell is coming, and my people are not ready to face it. Not yet. But you are already
Hey,
strong.
stop shooting me. You're already dead.
Come forward.
I'm sure Lord Brownberg would be very happy to see another gilf. Goodbye.
Only one of us will walk away from this. So let's enjoy the storm a moment. Nature's music.
The dead are killing your people as we speak.
Some will die, yes. But that is the way of nature. It is a crucible. It devours
Shoves her off
the
cliff.
weak.
That would make our job so
and
much
makes
easier,
the
wouldn't it?
strong stronger. And those who survive, they will save this land from hell.
You've fallen for the demon's lies.
No, no. This is my choice. Lilith only granted me the power to do what must be done.
And what did you give her?
All things must be earned in the wilds, even knowledge. Prove yourself, and you will have your answers.
And there she is. Yeah, we know how this song and dance goes. Get back here. Go. Zap, zap, zap. Come on. There we go. Ooh. Oh, enough with your bullshit. Zap. Hit her. Zap. Hit her. Those. Oh, nope, she's moving again. There she is. Ah! Alright. 1/3 left. She gonna do the summon again? Yep, she's doing multiple summons again. Ah, Dane, why do you... I hate it when that dead zone kicks in and it just makes it so you can't move. It's not even an enemy ability, it just happens because of the fucking server issues on the Blizzard side of things. You, come on, break him. There we go. Where is she? There we go. There we go.
The stronger prevails. So be it.
What did you give Lilith?
I told her of the wards around Astaroth's prison. How to break them.
Why?
My people have forgotten what it took to defeat Astaroth. Oh, they must learn again. If they cannot vanquish him, how can they stand against the full might of hell?
Social Darwinist bullshit. Like, the fundamental underpinnings are not wrong in the sense that humanity and Sanctuary does not stand a chance in hell of fighting against the full might of a demonic legion. But you don't make it better by killing another 90% of your population. We already had that happen once, and it didn't work out very well for anyone, now did it? Let's just keep increasing the damage on our ultimate ability. Get out of here, jackasses. There. It also does occur to me. That lasts for 15 seconds. I only need to get about 50% cooldown for me to be able to have this up at all times. That'll be pretty good. All right, back to Bracestick. Wow, 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 wow. Boop. Survivorship bias. I know. You're in?
And?
You're not
She's
gonna
at
like it.
peace now, I hope.
Wow, that was much kinder than I thought the warlock was gonna be. I thought he was gonna be like, she made a deal with the demon. I killed her.
Sacrifice are often entwined in the course of fate. My mother's words. I must tell Father what has happened. What Lilith has done. We cannot let her destroy anything else.
Okay, that's taken care of. Don't need to do the side quest here just yet. So that means you are next. So we get this way first.
Some of our finest hunters did not return. Now their bodies lay bare. They should be marked with... You are well familiar.
Yeah. I'll do it eventually. Talismans, candles, and carvings decorate the central totem. The woody, almost sweet smell of burning pine hangs in the air. It seems commitment to the old ways is strong here. Get out of here. Yeah, we're still doing okay on the damage front. I'm probably not going to bump up the difficulty again because it would get a little difficult at that point. You up. Ah, yes. The death of a grizzly bear. Sorry, Lord Brown Bear. It's going to happen again probably in this area. There's a lot of bears you kill. I really do not like individual invisible enemies. Okay, fine. I understand it adds to the combat mechanic. The fact that there can be entire packs of enemies that are invisible is just aggravating. Just let me see them on the map and let me kill them. There's no reason for me to have to go through bullshit to get there. Nope. Nope. Get back here. Goodbye. Thank you. That. Did we actually get that? Ooh. Yes. Get that. Yeah. And what about swap? Yes. Okay. What kind of bear? Yes. I mean, there's no polar bears in this game, I don't think. It's mainly just grizzly and brown bears in Scotland. It would be cool if we ran into a polar bear in Kiovashad. That would be kind of cool. But they don't exist there as far as I'm aware. Ooh, loot goblin. Loot goblin. Nope. Get back here. Get back here. Son of a bitch. There we go. Give me that gold. Give me all of that gold. I do also like that when I have the overpower and health and volatility effects that it causes my character to light on fire. What else is over here? Is this the inn that I'm heading towards? I don't remember. You need to go away, away, away. Stop casting poison. Bastards. I hate terrifying enemies. It's so annoying. Like, it's one of the most annoying affixes they can give an enemy because it's just like, oh, well, I can't stand next to him and fight him because my character who can fight the fucking prime evil can't stand next to an enemy. Bye. Give me your gold. You die. No, this isn't the inn. Why did I think this was the inn? The inn's down here. I'm an idiot. This is Korbach. This is one of the other towns. I don't know why I thought the inn was up here. No side quests. There is the foodstuffs bag for that guy. We can turn that in while we're here. Hello, I come bearing food.
From Da? Truly? Oh, thank you. We haven't had nothing to eat in days. The little ones can barely keep their eyes open. We miss him terribly, but he's done what needed doing.
Then there's a side quest down here I can go pick up, but I don't really care. So let's get down here and activate the second part of the main quest. Ooh, die. Wait, why is there a... Oh, moss. Okay. I was like, what the hell is that? Because it's so close to town, I didn't think it was something that could spawn in that you could actually loot, but apparently I'm wrong. And here come the fun kind. And not the fun kind. 40k fun. Goodbye. Yeah, I know it takes a little bit longer, but I don't know. I never liked the fact that they gave you a mount in this game because I'd rather just there be more enemies on the road and then I just kill them and get more experience and loot. That's all I care about. Why would you play this game for anything else? Like, I guess the mounts are useful if you've done a lot of the content, but if I'm playing the game, I just want to kill shit. That's the whole point. Oh, hi! So turn that on. Oh, boom. Speeds up questing. I mean, yeah, but I'd rather just kill shit. To be fair, as I said, Diablo 4 is very much my brain turn off game. Like, I just want to mindlessly kill stuff in this game. That's all I want to do. I don't know what you guys are running from, but you're not getting away from me. Any particular build you're doing? This is completely self-made. I haven't looked up anything in regards to the Warlock. I just saw that there was Hellfire abilities, and that's kind of what we're doubling down on. I've got the Hellfire version of Doom. I've got the Hell Fracture. I've got the Hellfire version of the Dark Prison, which is the Chain Aura. I've got the Sigil of Chaos, and I've got the Terror Swarm Fire version, Searing Infestation.
Saw that? Overgrown vermin's broke another trap. Traveler. Thorn beast.
All right, give me the side quest. That's all I care about. Oh, got that. Is that an upgrade? Yes, yes it is. Take it.
The whole forest has gone mad.
Doing a claw build, but soon we'll have the gigantic respec. The claw is nice. I will say, like, as far as visuals and, like, usefulness go, the Dread Claws is a great ability. It looks and feels great to use.
There's a horned woman in the moors.
If there was a fire version of the Dread Claws, I'd probably be using that instead. But there isn't,
yes,
unfortunately.
She's after the druids who vanquished Astaroth.
Ah, that madman Nefane lives out there. We already tried checking on him. Got as far as Boglinstone Circle, and then the druid's wolf companion appeared and bit one of my men. I'm already short on knights. Not going to risk what I have left on some bastard who hates the cathedral. Nefane sees us as intruders stealing from his land. But how does he expect us to survive? We need timber to build, ore to forge our weapons, wild game to eat. Truth is, I think his hatred for us goes back to Donan. They were friends once, but they had a falling out.
Well, they had a falling out specifically because of the cathedral, but yeah.
Not sure, but I met the druid once. I was riding through the moors minding my own business when he came up and spoke in the beast tongue. Caused my horse to throw me. I broke my leg. Hasn't been the same since. I don't care what happened between them. I'm just glad Donan came to his senses and broke it off with that brute.
Grab the two others here. May as well just have the quests on hand in case I get them done.
The fly swarms folk. The problem is...
That's assuming this quest wants to work. I've had this quest break, like, on every character that I've gone through in this game. The enemies just won't spawn in until I like come back way later. And then after like days of having the quest in my journal, they'll finally spawn.
Not something, but someone. You look the worldly sort. Would you be able to travel to the under the...
Yeah. That's the guy who... Yeah, he's there. Don't know just yet. I also love how they're like, we got as far as the cairn before his wolf showed up. And it's like, my dude, you literally walked like 2 minutes out of town. Like, even taking into account that the Diablo 4 map is obviously shortened to make it so that it feels like you're traveling everywhere. This is still like a pitifully short distance from the town. Hello. Goodbye. I said goodbye. Huh. You know, I don't think I ever noticed that there's actually, this looks like a defiled waypoint. Like you like the teleporters. Huh. Stone is carved with a message, welcoming travelers to the forest where they can become one with nature, but something has been written over it in dried blood. Cathedral dogs not welcome. Big shocker.
Come now, my friend. Do I smell like a knight?
The warlock's like, yeah, I don't. Come on, man. You know I'm not. You know I'm not.
See there? Not at all. Now, I'm looking for your master, Nefane.
Poor doggo.
Oh, is he this way? I'll follow you then.
Huh. I'm pretty sure most of the other classes don't say something like they say something more along the lines of you want me to follow you or something, but the warlock actually sounded like he understood what the wolf was trying to literally say. There we go. Come on, get moving. Goodbye. Hold up, Mr. Wolf, I'm coming. Can I hit them from here? Oh, no, not quite. Damn, that would have been cool. There. Goodbye. Oh, hello, Mr. Lycanthrope. You followed me. And now you're dead. Simple. Simple and clean. Unlike this place, which is covered in fucking corruption. Yeah, skills have no cooldown. Or no cost. Good. I can just spam this then. Everything explodes. Nothing like running into a channeling shrine and then just letting you use your high-end abilities with no cost. Get out of there. There we go. I do also like the visual. When I have all of the cooldowns running at the same time, that is just such a cool visual to literally be standing in what is essentially the center of a hell portal. Sup, Nefane? You're not looking too good.
Nefane?
What? Who? Oh. Who are you?
Name's not important.
You stink of Donan. He is no here. Coward!
He feared Lilith might seek you out. He was right.
Yes. She put me here. I am beyond saving. All you can do for me is find the demon. I will help you. Go to the north. She is there, planning something. There is still time to stop her. Fearban will accompany you. Hurry!
You know, a vibe I always got from this was that Nefane and Arida both assumed that the other would resist Lilith and be there to lead their people. Neither of them realizing that the other one already, well, depending on the time period, depending on which quest you do, had already signed a deal with Lilith. Like, it really gives that kind of feeling. Like, they both assumed someone would be there to lead who wasn't Donan. And then the only one of them that didn't resist was, that did resist Lilith was Donan. Like, really feels like they played themselves there, which is very fitting given the nature of Lilith. I need to use the restroom, and I can't really pause because Diablo 4 is an always online game. Run the ad now so I can go to the restroom real fast. Please, Twitch, if you would, please. Dankeschön. Be right back, guys. There we go. I'll just grab myself a snack, a couple of pieces of pepperoni with a few drops of hot sauce on it. Claw marks riddled the decaying body. Single word is written on the fallen knight's chest. Trespasser. Great. Yeah, Nefane's a bit of a jackass. Why do you have ranged attacks? Go away. No. We definitely need to get some... Maybe I will put some points into... I will admit, I kind of like how they've redone the trees so that there's not just... Because there were a lot of builds where you would take like 2 or 3 abilities and then you would take nothing but the passives. Nothing but the passives. And they've largely eliminated that. So it actually feels like you need to make your way down. I wish they'd kept 1 or 2. But like overall, I get what they were kind of going for with this. I think we'll put a point into Duke. Goodbye. I said goodbye. Good day, sir. I have delivered an explosion. You must shut up. Oh, fiendish folio. No, I don't need light. Go away.
A barrier of blood. There must be a way to bring it down.
When in doubt, set it on fire. Oh right, you have to clear out this whole area in order to get in here. Everything's on fire. Everything's exploding. Goodbye. Not dealing with you again. Give me that. Give me that. Come on. Give me the channeling shrine. There we go. Free castings of my skill. Everything must explode. By everything I do mean everything. Ow. Bloody annoying fucking fly swarms. There. Yeah, I don't need too much cooldown reduction. I should be able to keep most of these abilities up all the time. Yeah. Anything good? Yes. And no. We're pretty much at the point where blue items are also pretty much no longer worth it. Should be able to keep pure rare items from now on. Gold. Also, I'm pretty sure we're on track to finishing Act 2 before... It took us a full stream and a half to get through Act 1, and we're gonna do Act 2 in less than like 2 hours. At least if I keep at this pace. Well, we only have an hour left. Maybe not. I think we'll get close, though.
Boughs hangs the heart fruit, swollen with hatred. Let it burst forth and flood the streams and burrows.
Away.
In this crimson cradle, let there be born an amalgam of rage.
I also feel like Lilith really doesn't come into her own, like, as a villain until, like, Act 3. Like, some of her stuff in Act 1 and Act 2 is a little simpler. Aside from the Rothko scene, obviously. He's great there. But you get stuff like this, and it's like, was this just written early on in her dialogue? Because she just sounds a little... not off, but, like, just not interesting. This is just generic bad guy dialogue.
Let its anger ever burn, until it has devoured the whole of this wretched land.
Yeah. Is that an upgrade? Maybe. Willpower, life on hit, resource cost reduction. Go with that one. Actually having to pay attention to stats now, because the items are actually good enough to bother.
Nefane's blood. It all flows here.
Yep, the amalgam of rage. Come on, Gabe. I hate it. What's that? The game sometimes just stops your character from doing stuff if they get surrounded. Like, it won't allow you to move, it won't allow you to attack. You have to use the evade button, or else the game just fucked off. Hello, amalgam of rage. I'm going to set you on fire now.
Come to me, spawn of hatred. We have tender meat to hunt.
Kind of annoying you can't kill it. Not gonna lie.
So you're wounded, but not dead. Where'd you run off to, little fellow?
Chuck that. Is that better? Yes. All right, there we go. Full magic items. Or full rare items, I should say. Return to Nefane. Oh, right. You have to actually go back to Nefane. Which means you can't just teleport out. I will say this, they definitively got better about the dungeon like design by the first expansion. I'm hoping that continues into the second. Because some of the vanilla game dungeons are just aggravating to get through. No ability to teleport out, no ability to teleport back to the entrance, layouts that are annoying and potentially confusing for some of the bigger ones. A Rel's dungeon in Act 1 for the mere example of that bullshit. It's a shame too, because when they do good, they do good. Like when we get to like the Hell dungeons in Act 4, those are great. Most of the city-style dungeons, like that are centered around Chaldeum, are also really good. Just took them a while to get there is the problem. Thought I set that. something in my teeth. You know how it is when you can feel something with your tongue, but you can't get it out? Yeah. Need to get a toothpick. Something. Something for after stream. I'll deal with it for now. Alright, Nefane, I dealt with your fuck up. You can finish bleeding to death now.
Did you stop her? No. She was already gone. And I fear she has taken a piece of you with her. A beast born from your blood.
Warlock putting a little bit of sass in that, I could tell. Like, yeah, this is all your fault. Yeah, it is.
What part did you have in this?
A pact with Lilith to help me destroy the Knight's penitent.
In return for what?
I told her where Astaroth is hidden, held high.
Why?
In her presence.
I've never noticed that his lip flaps are completely desynced. Like, they didn't even try.
There's only one thing to do now.
That's a little, like, I guess, I feel like if that's the case, you shouldn't have made it to even be able to see his mouth as easily. If you're just gonna have him literally just be flapping the whole time. Very metal. Oh yeah, stabbing him with his own spear and finally putting an end to him. Pretty freaking metal. You're still an idiot, Nefane. Yeah, sorry, doggo. Your master's dead. Sorry, buddy. Oh, shit. Right, I'm out of room. Yeet that. There we go. Damage per second, weapon damage, willpower, max. That's still technically an upgrade. The tip of the spear used to kill Nefane, now fashioned into a dagger. Its corrupted blood still stains the edge. How does that actually look? Eh, it's alright. I don't mind the... what do we need to do now? Oh, right. Okay, well, hold on. We need to stop off at Saragar so I can get rid of all this shit in my inventory. Well, this corruption goes beyond just convincing people. I'm quite sure it also makes her presence enough to bring out the worst, making the... Oh, absolutely it does. Absolutely it does. But, like, it still doesn't change the fact that Nefane's plan from the beginning was pretty fucking stupid. No, I looked at all of these. Go ahead and disintegrate all of them.
There is magic in all things. Let me show you.
Yeah, I don't even have much of anything for this. I guess I could put Aspect of Calamity on something, because I do use Hex a lot. How much is it going to cost me to put on there? Nope, I don't even have enough. Fuck, never mind. Never mind. Was there anything else I needed to do here? I have some obols. I don't know. What's my lowest item power? Boots. I can get a couple of those.
Shame that. Go one more?
Anything good? Willpower, max life, and dodge chance. Evasion. Evade grants additional speed for 1.5 seconds. And +1 to occult skills. No, not... No, not as good, but I need to keep an eye out for that affix then, because I did not realize that was a
How
thing.
shall I guide my hammer?
Is it hard to call people stupid for falling for her deal? From my perspective, no. From my in-universe Warlock's perspective, he would probably consider everyone involved in this story to be a moron. What was I doing? Right, Eltame and the end, and getting close to the end of Act 2. Imagine your inventor's warlock be aware of the influence Loth would have. Yeah. I mean, more than likely, given the fact that he's also infected with the blood, which is a more direct form of her corruption that can outright change who you are over time. That. Boing. Sorry, Morag. I'll get to your side quest eventually, buddy. Probably on Saturday in between streams so that I can get more levels. The faster we hit max level, the better. Hello, Mr. Bloodclan Impaler. There's nothing quite like yeeting a demon off the cliff. Zapped. Zapped. You. Nope. You need to go away. Said you need to go away. Yeah, I can't see any ground effects that the enemy is putting out when I do this. Like, I can't see jack shit. Makes it very hard to tell what the hell's going on. Haven't said yet. Happy 1st of May. Yeah. Year is almost half over. God help us all. Get out of here. I want all of you to explode. I do like that the Valok guy actually does draw enemy attention if he's close to the enemy.
I'll have to find another way inside.
He has blocked stuff for me, despite having no health pool and apparently not being capable of being killed. It's kind of nice just to have a demon that just sits there and can take hits for me. Go. Hello, gentlemen.
The horned woman. The beast. Nothing could stop them. Not our steel, not our prayers.
Listen to me. I must find Donan. Where is he?
Come on.
Somewhere inside. Dead, like the rest, for all I know. The light has forsaken this place.
I will admit, I get why the Warlock isn't saying anything about it, but I did like in the Paladin missions where, or the Paladin lines that he had, where occasionally people would be like, oh, the light has forsaken this place. The Paladin's response is basically, bitch, please. The light is within. Kick the demon's ass anyways. At least that's the vibe I got, was the Paladin basically being like, nope, the light doesn't abandon you. You just have to keep fighting. I like the Determinator aspect for the Paladin. I don't care about your problems, where is Donan? Yeah. Whereas the Warlock is much more like, I'm surrounded by idiots kind of vibe. But also at the same time, not wanting to reveal too much about themselves, because it's like, that's a bad idea. Hello, good sir. Nope. I said nope. No, enough with the poison bullshit. Nobody likes that. Yeah, let's just keep improving Doom, I guess. I do want to see what the Warlock's unique legendary affixes are soon. Like, we only seen one, and it gives Hex, it makes it so you can basically get guaranteed crits once you hit the enemy with Hex. Go ahead. Use it all. There we go. So I'm hoping there will be some nice synergies with the legendary effects. We just haven't seen many, because I haven't had almost any drop. Hopefully that'll change once we hit max level. It usually does. Get out of here. I'm hoping we actually get to finish Act 2 before the end of this stream. That would be nice. We just have this dungeon and the final boss, I think, if I remember correctly. There we go, back into the key. You know, I never actually looked over here before. Wait. Oh, I thought there might have been a note over there. It'd be like, wow, like 4 playthroughs, and I never found that. But no.
Light, cleanse these faithful servants of their sin. Bring them peace in death.
See, this is what I mean. Like, Donan is still able to, like, move a probably 200-pound human in probably about 100 pounds of armor. Like, there's still muscle under there. He's just fat from some good living.
Bloody miracle you made it here in one piece. Lilith and that beast tore right through us. Could have killed me too. But she left me untouched. She's toying with me.
I mean, that's an understatement.
He wants me to watch her destroy everything I've built.
I mean, to be fair, infuriating and insulting you, Donan, is just like a secondary effect
Did you
of what
see
she's doing.
Yorin the way you came?
No.
She hasn't won yet. There's still a chance to stop her. But I can't do it alone.
I'm with you. Where is she now?
An old chamber beneath the keep. That's where Astaroth is. I didn't vanquish him like the stories say. I imprisoned him in a soul stone. It was a last resort. I built Eldheim over the stone to contain its evil. I've spent my life watching over it, keeping it a secret, so Astaroth would never hurt anyone again. Not even my son knows.
I mean, not the worst plan, all things considered. Especially because even as a Duke of Hell, Astaroth doesn't have nearly the corruptive aura that something like a Lesser or a Primeval does.
We should get moving. Follow me. If you didn't see Yorin outside, we'll search on the way.
When was the last time you saw Yorin?
We were discussing what happened to Erida, and then Lilith stormed the keep. I ordered some guards to escort him out of Eldheim. I should have... This night, he was with Yorin.
Yeah, see, this is what I mean by Yorin. I feel like Act 2 is a little rushed. Act 2 should have been slightly longer, just a little bit, and Yorin should have accompanied you for pretty much the whole thing to make you think that he was going to be joining. Especially because, let's be honest, he's more sympathetic than Donan is at first. And he's able to bridge the gap between the cathedral and the locals, which actually does make him a bit of like the local hero kind of feel to him. The death flags are a bit too clear. Oh, it's worse than death. You'll see, Lord Brown Bear. It's worse than that.
One of Yorin's protectors. The last of my son's guardians.
One of the guardians Donan ordered to watch over Yorin. Just a broken corpse now, marred by claw marks. Yorin's mace sits atop the body, but there's no other side.
I told them to get out.
Maybe he and the Knights tried to stop Lilith. Could she have taken him somewhere?
What possible reason would she have? He means nothing to her. We need to
But he means everything to you.
The way to Astaroth
And
is
you
through here.
denied Lilith, and she does not like that.
Why is Lilith so eager to find Astaroth?
I've been asking myself that same question, but I'm as much in the dark about it as you are, I'm afraid. They share a connection, though, and a strong one at that. Astaroth is a guardian of Lilith's father, Mephisto, the Lord of Hatred.
Yeah, that was it. He's a loyal lieutenant of Mephisto, and he actually, if I remember correctly, he guards the gate to Mephisto's realm. When he's there, at least. Up. Need that. Upgrade? No. Upgrade? No. I've also got to get something that improves my movement speed. I feel so slow. After I got so used to playing the Paladin with the Arbiter form that automatically gives you like a 50% movement speed bonus and then building even more on top of that. God, it feels weird moving at like essentially base speed this entire time. It is so aggravating. I feel so slow.
The Soul Stone Chamber. Lilith has what she wanted all this
time. Is it cutscene time? I think it's cutscene time.
She took the stone. No sign of Yorin, though. We need to find him.
On game. There we go. But yeah, Lord Brownbear, you say death flag, but it's worse than death. It's worse than death. You'll see. This is Diablo, motherfucker. It always can be worse than death.
Mighty Astaroth. The charred Duke himself.
Very red flag. Yes.
Confined to a cage. What a pity.
Daughter of hatred.
Ma'am, I'm a direct subordinate of your father. Please do not hold my soul stone that close to your chest. I don't need him killing me.
Welcome. In exchange, I will give you freedom and more. Donan's progeny, his pride and joy, your retribution. If you give me what I want.
Yeah, poor Yorin.
You will have safe passage.
Notice how the shadow of the previous shot had Yorin have ports? Yeah. I know. They put little things like that in.
Was it another vision? Did you see Yorin?
Yes. Lilith stabbed him with the Soul Stone.
My son?
Correct, Lord Brownbear.
I'm sorry, Donan.
This isn't over.
I know what I am.
No.
Yeah, I like that the Warlock.
There's still time.
The Warlock's just like, you
have to trust
me. You know exactly what this means.
Meet me in the Great Hall.
Yorin does know Aiden. It's very likely that Diablo wasn't explicitly trying to break out of Aiden instantly. Oh no, he wasn't. Like, I believe one of the novels explicitly says that the only thing that Aiden did that surprised Diablo was the wandering into the Rogue's Monastery. Like, that whole bit was not supposed to happen. But Diablo still took advantage of it because Diablo did not realize that Bloodraven was already falling to corruption, and his arrival in the Rogue's Monastery caused the outbreak there, which actually did end up serving Diablo's plans. But by and large, everything Aiden did was not. Like, Diablo kind of accounted for most of it. What do we do now?
Let's find Yorin as quickly as possible. I realize how hopeless this all seems, but I've spent half my life studying the Soul Stone. I know its nature. It will take time for Astaroth to overpower my boy. I taught him well. Even now, he's resisting the demon's influence.
If Diablo wanted, he could have possessed Aiden instantly. He just didn't want to.
Karagar, perhaps.
It's heavily implied Diablo let Aiden think that he was resisting successfully right up until the point when they entered Tal Rasha's tomb. Because it's heavily implied that at that point, Diablo just took control fully and didn't even have to have the pretense of Aiden fighting back. Yep. Saragar. Yeah, we should. Oh yeah, we got 30 minutes. We'll definitely be done with Act 2. We'll definitely be done with Act 2. Question is why he needed a human guys for so long. Part of it was to get Marius on his side, because having Marius actually turned out to be very beneficial to Diablo's plan when dealing with Tyrael in Tal Rasha's tomb. The second is that it allowed him to spread the corruption and open additional portals to hell easier in that region without drawing the ire of what few organized forces that would have caused him problems. Namely, don't forget that the paladin, like, don't forget, Tenwin, the paladin, the necromancer, the sorceress, the assassin, the druid, and the Amazon all had official support from the groups that they represented to go and find Diablo. The only one who was kind of acting on his own was the barbarian, because the barbarian was like, I'm not just going to sit around while the world burns, I'm going to go hunt the prime evil. Diablo was still in a position where he could not afford to attract the attention of that many. He also did not realize, I think, and this was partly the primevals operating at different, different ideas of what they were doing. Diablo was not quite fully aware just how badly the Zakharum Church had been corrupted by Mephisto. He didn't realize that until he got across the sea and then took full advantage of it to get Mephisto out.
Papa, where are you?
And yes, the entire city is on fire.
It was a beast. A hound of hell.
The reason why he switched from Albrecht to Aiden was... Oh, that was simply because... So, the amount of power that Diablo is able to push through a possessed vessel is directly correlated from how strong that vessel was. I believe they actually addressed this, that his ability to project himself through Albrecht was massively reduced compared to what he was able to bring by possessing Aiden. Albrecht was too flimsy of a vessel for Diablo to wield much power, but that played it to his advantage because it allowed Aiden to kill him and think that he'd won. Also, the fact that, do remember, Tenwin, canonically, Aiden did not know that his brother was Diablo's host until he killed him. The thing that finally broke Aiden was killing Diablo, pulling the soul stone from Diablo's head, and then watching Diablo's form transform back into his baby brother. That was the moment that Aiden's sanity completely shattered. Was Diablo out explicitly after Aiden, or was it more a case of any hero with enough strength to do? Any hero with enough strength to do. Yep.
Kaina, get up! We have to go now! I can't leave without you!
They're here.
All right, here we go. Boss fight time.
You're in!
Oh, poor Yorin.
You're in!
He has been waiting for you.
Now this Lilith did just out of spite. She already had what she wanted. She did all this just to spite, though. Because he dared to refuse.
Come forth.
My boy. He called out for you. Wept until his tears became fire.
Do as you please, Astaroth. I have what I came for.
And gone. Yep, total aura. Yep. I'd like to imagine my warlock's like, I've never killed a Duke of Hell before. Let's see whose fire is stronger. Ah. Ah, get back here, you son of a bitch. Get back here. I don't like being this slow. I really don't. Oh, you son of a... Get back here. Waste of my fucking ultimate ability, you son of a bitch. There we go. There we go. The dying civilians are ice touch. That's one way to put it, Lord Brown Bear, but yes, it does help sell the threat. I get what you're saying. So the fact that his hosts were brothers was pure coincidence? Not pure coincidence, but it just kind of worked out that way with how Aiden was kind of the last, like, strong opponent that was left to face Diablo at that point. What are your thoughts on possession not affecting the form of a primeval? I've seen some artistic character designers complain about the fact that Diablo's form 1, 2, and 3 never carried any remnant of their previous host. No Aiden's face into Diablo's chest or whatever. That's not true. The Diablo 1 form is noticeably less buff than the Diablo 2 form, indicating Aiden was stronger than Albrecht. And the Diablo 3 primeval form still has a body type that is, shall we say, noticeably feminine, given the fact that he was possessing his daughter at the time. Like, that's just straight up not true.
I will leave you in peace.
Yep, even the warlock knows not to interrupt this. All right, what did we get? You gain increased movement speed per active summon. Casting a summon skill doubles this bonus for 3 seconds. I don't think any of my abilities count as summons. Well, Command Valok counts as a summon. I guess that works. So does Terror Swarm. So, you know, it works. It's just not great. +2 to Rampage. I don't even know what Rampage is. Goodness, that is some heavyweight. Yeah, no, Donan's voice actor does an amazing job throughout the whole game, honestly. Donan's voice actor does a great job. I always thought for some reason the primeval Diablo was feminine due to being a combination of all evils, including Andariel, and less about it being Leia. I believe they explicitly, there was an interview or something where someone confirmed, no, Diablo does take on traits from the people he possesses. And in that particular case, it was actually because of possessing Leia. They pronounce it Leia, don't they? Ah, whatever. Does possession just mean the host is fucked? Beyond having their head impaled by a foot-long crystal? Yeah, see, that's the thing. It's like, even if he had resisted, there's still the physical damage of a foot-long crystal spike going through his head. I mean, I don't know if the head is a necessary stab. It isn't, actually, because Talrasha's was in his torso. It's just that the head is considered, like, symbolically the most important. Yeah, the same thing happened to Aiden, the Dark Wanderer from Diablo 1 and 2. Because he ended up doing it through his head. Albrecht had it shoved through his head, though that was not by choice. Someone did that to him. Theoretically, Lord Bramber, theoretically, possession can be reversed if the demonic force is excised quickly enough. The problem in most of the cases we see in the games is that most of the possessions, not all, are usually involving a greater demon. Greater demons can possess people much faster and much more fully than lesser demons can.
Aye. A shame about Yoren. Was one of us, you know. We'll take care of him and his father.
Talrasha did resist a possession by Mephisto. Was that purely due to words? And Talrasha, you mean Baal? Talrasha resisted Baal. Or no, yeah, Baal. Baal was the one buried in Talrasha's tomb with him.
Everything happened exactly as Lilith wanted. We just danced to her music. Donan was shattered.
Hold on, I'll continue on that once we get through this cutscene.
Not her. Not answers. No one knew what Lilith was truly after, or exactly what Astaroth had promised her. But we needed to recover quickly, and we needed to stop chasing her phantoms.
As far as we can tell, if I remember correctly from the books that they revealed, as well as some of the plot details that were released around the time of Diablo 3, the plan was for all three of the primevals to acquire hosts once they got to Sanctuary. And Baal did want a powerful mage as his host. Tal Rasha, so it wasn't necessarily Tal Rasha's willpower that was the problem with Baal. What Baal underestimated was the sheer number of security measures that the Haradrim put in place to make sure that no one ever found his tomb. That delayed Baal's part of the plan, which is why Diablo had to go and find him. Because say what you will, the location for Diablo and Mephisto's soul stones were, to put it bluntly, incredibly stupidly chosen. Like, Mephisto's the Lord of Hatred, so putting him anywhere near anybody was a bad idea. Putting him near Travancore was an absolute shit show of an idea. Diablo at least had the excuse of where they originally buried it was empty. No one lived there at the time. The Kingdom of Cuirass did not exist. They just got unlucky that later on, one of Diablo's cultists, that being the Archbishop Lazarus, found out the location of the Soul Stone and convinced the guy he was working for to set up his new kingdom there. These guys are actually competent. Yeah, no, but like, and to be fair though, Tenwin, remember what I said. Baal is still intelligent by the standards of demons, but he's noticeably less long-sighted than his brothers because he's the aspect of destruction. We have a bunch of side quests I can pick up here before we go, and then we can probably get to where Lorath is in Act 3 and get that started before we leave. Ooh, that is a much higher damage weapon. Weapon damage, maximum life, life on kill. Yeah, I guess it is still technically an upgrade. Anything else? Willpower, fire. Ooh, actually, yeah. Give me the fire damage on that. Give me the fire damage on that. Couldn't they have done the old slink to the bottom of the ocean bit with the soul stones? No, because soul stones can corrupt most any life that comes near them. And the other problem as well is the oceans of Sanctuary are not very well described or understood. So there's no guarantee that the soul stone wouldn't have eventually washed ashore somewhere, which would have had its own problems. Also, we don't even know if soul stones sink, Tenwin. For all we know, they float. That would be hilarious if that had been an issue. That would have been hilarious. Tenwin, you just put the funniest idea in my head, where the Haradrim are gathered around the soul stones, contemplating how to use them and what they should do, and one of the Haradrim just speaks up and is just like, dude, we get the primeval, we stick them in the soul stone, and then we throw it in the ocean. And then one of the Haradrim just picks up the soul stone and sets it down in a bucket of water and it floats. And they just go, shit. Encase in brick, cover in wards, drop brick. Tenwin, do you have any idea how corrosive seawater is to just about anything that we put on it? Or put it on?
We can always use a strong back. Truthfully, lot of folk.
Yeah, just give me the quest. Yeah, but does a Haradrim know that? They were the most advanced magic user. Also, magic fails eventually. That's part of the problem, Tenwin. It is... Entropy affects magic the same way it does everything else. Give me that quest.
No, I'm not all right. She needs it.
Yep, the Great Oak of Tol Odra, which is the big old area over here, but we're not doing side quests right now. We need to go over to Hed Badu and get Act 3 started. Water-resistant rock seems like a basic spell, but then that fades away and then it disappears. Same problem. You are delaying it, but now you have no way of knowing where the damn thing is going to show up later. I did also complete this at some point, didn't I? Thank you. Boots. Slightly lower willpower. Maximum life, armor regeneration. Maximum life isn't worth losing the legendary effect. No, thank you. but neither does a cultist. It doesn't matter. If the soulstone washes ashore and even a random person finds it, guess what? They're getting mind-fucked by the primeval immediately.
My eyes can only watch so much. The great axe of the Oxen tribe has gone. It is an heirloom of Raykor, War Master of Change. Its edge claimed countless demons upon Ariat, yet showed no wear. Its craft matched. The Triune has tried. We've seen them hide.
Yeah. Give me the quest. Thank you. We also do that one. Sounds like the Haradrim tried relying on predictability in dealing with the primevals to a certain extent. They went with isolation for Diablo. They went with magical wards and obfuscation with Baal. And they went with, we will literally put it under the holiest place in all of Curast for Mephisto. They did create multiple layers of protection. And it did take a long time for the primevals to get to finally break out. But it did happen.
It's my sons, Auden and Kada. They used to work here with me in Kedbadu, but then they got it in their heads to set up a new shop. If you are
yes. Give me the quest. Only Baal seemed to work well. Well, again, the Diablo one worked fine. So here's the funny thing. You're correct that the weakest of them was Mephisto, because Mephisto took full advantage of the fact that the Zakarum faith began to have mundane corruption long before his, like, demonic corruption started to affect them. And he took full advantage of that in order to exacerbate his own demonic corruption of the Zakarum high priests. But it took that happening for anyone to find Diablo, and it took Diablo happening for anyone to find Baal. So in a way, Mephisto was the weakest link still.
We never have peace.
But without that happening, the Diablo one worked fine as well. What is the question?
Nosy, are we? I'm heading south. If you're interested...
Yeah. Give me the quest. And Lorath is in a pigsty, drunk off his ass.
Well, he's still breathing.
He is lucky to be.
Hello. What happened?
That old man there. He claims to be Haradrim.
I'm just saying the only reason Baal was freed was due to Diablo's failing. Yes, but the only reason Diablo's failed was, at least arguably from what we know,
days ago.
Because Mephisto finally managed to corrupt one person. It took him over 1,000 years to do that, or however long it was between the. I don't remember what the timeline is between them being captured and them being freed.
A friend of his, or maybe an acquaintance. See, I saw this pale man in a vision, and
enough. He's yours.
The warlock tried to explain magic to these common people. It's just like, dude, we don't want to hear about it. Just take your drunk friend and leave. Hello, Lorath. Long time no see. Welcome to Act 3. Wake up, buddy. Theoretically, if neither Diablo or Mephisto failed, Baal would most likely never come. Yeah.
What do you want?
You told me to meet you here, Lorath.
Between the traps, the false tombs, and just the nature of the Lutgalain desert, yeah, Baal was pretty much no one was gonna find him.
What
Nobody.
happened to you?
I was attacked, obviously, by vast quantities of alcohol, wielded by my own treacherous hand.
Lorath, we need to take you to Alcoholics Anonymous, I think.
Brawl with the goats over this patch of mud. But I like to think I triumphed.
Lorath, who is the Pale Man?
The Pale Man was Haradrim.
Haradrim? Then you must know him.
I thought I did, once. His name is Elias. He was my apprentice. He was the one who brought Lilith to Sanctuary.
Yep.
It's possible that I did not take the news very well.
No shit.
What must we do then?
Find it. Figure out what he's done.
What did it take for Diablo's prison to fail again? Was it just the Vizier guy with the other details? Oh, it was just the Vizier.
Listen.
Cause, okay, I'll wait for the cutscene to finish.
Here someplace. She has some messages we'll need. And I'm of no use to anyone right now.
I'd say, get yourself a magical hangover here, there, Lorath.
Enough time has been wasted.
Check around the inn. Ask if she's heard from the Orbe.
What did it take for Diablo's prison to fail? Yeah, it was literally, so again, the main thing with Diablo's prison was how isolated it was. The Haradrim basically buried it in ancient ruins, thousands of miles from any major, even every minor settlement at the time. If I recall, the Vizier got corrupt. Well, the Archbishop. It was his spiritual advisor to the King of Cuirass. Convinced the king to move to Tristram, corrupted him, made him mad, and then shit went south. Mostly. The Archbishop convinced, Leoric to establish a formal kingdom in the region and to bring the light of Zakarum to the region. Now, here's the thing. Leoric agreed to bring the religion, but aside from allowing I think his name was Lazarus, to keep his position as Archbishop, Leoric actually didn't listen to the Archbishop very much. He established his kingdom, let Lazarus kind of be the head priest, but didn't do much, and actually built a fairly thriving kingdom relatively quickly. He had good relations with Westmarch, good relations with the barbarians to his north, good relations with Luke Ghislaine and the other settlements in the region. No problem. But just by being in the cathedral that he turned into his palace long enough, Diablo, all the way down in the earth, was able to zero in and go, this is the guy I want to possess, and I'm going to try and do that. At the same time, Diablo was working on Lazarus and convincing Lazarus to descend deeper and deeper into the cathedral. Once Lazarus got down deep enough, Diablo, if I remember correctly, Diablo gave him orders to crack but not destroy the Soul Stone. Because if he destroyed the Soul Stone, Diablo would be banished immediately back to hell as a wandering spirit. But by cracking it, without fully destroying it, it allowed more of Diablo's power to seep into the real world, which he then used to try and corrupt Leoric. This led to Leoric going mad. Funnily enough, it is implied that unlike Aiden, Diablo actually wasn't able to take control of Leoric, at least not without doing it directly, and he didn't want to do that. Failing in possessing Leoric made him turn mad and tyrannical, causing the civilians to rebel, killing him, causing the Skeleton King. Correct. That was a, multi-year long process, though. Leoric held out remarkably well for a normal mortal man, having basically the Lord of Hell constantly whispering in his ears, non-stop, day and night, awake and asleep. It didn't matter. Yeah, Leoric was tragic because he probably resisted Diablo better and longer than anyone else ever has. In any other setting, Leoric would have been the hero to storm the rest of the cathedral and find a way to, reinforce the Soul Stone. But because nobody knew it was there, and Leoric had no fucking clue what was going on, because the one person who could tell him was the one person who was acting against him. Day and night, wanted you the latest celebrity gossip. No, not again. Yeah. But that led to all of that. Diablo finally rescinded, told Lazarus to grab Albrecht, the younger son, and make off with him. By this point, Leoric had already declared war on Westmarch, so Aiden was off with the Lakdanan and the other knights of Kurast fighting the war against Westmarch, which is why he wasn't involved. What was I doing? Right. Well, mainly just ranting about story while we finish up here. We've only got a few minutes anyway, so there's no point in trying to get out and about right now. We can just wrap up here and finish up. Didn't Albrecht try and stop Lazarus? No. Albrecht was 13. To Albrecht, Lazarus was just his father's spiritual advisor. Albrecht was a 13, 14-year-old kid, maybe 16 at most, watching his entire world implode around him. His mother was executed for treason. His brother was sent off to war. His mentors and bodyguards were all sent off to war. He watched people he knew in the city of Tristram being slaughtered by his father's own orders, and his father steeping further and further into madness. And then one day he wakes up in the middle of the night, Lazarus clunks him over the head and drags him off into the cellars, ties him down, and then stabs a soul stone through his head. Albrecht had no fucking clue what was going on.
No word from Orbe. Same as yesterday and the day before. But
So I recall a journal from D3 mentioning Lazarus being incredibly annoyed with Albrecht because he was a nuisance and in his way, but I might be... It was because Albrecht's presence was the last stabilizing force on Leoric.
After Lorath's performance last night, I wager he'll want to know.
Albrecht was the last piece of sanity keeping Leoric from going absolutely, fully mad. Like, yes, he had killed his wife. He had killed people in Tristram, but there was at least a semblance of the man he was. There was still, like, if you actually, those same Diablo 3 journals of Leoric show that there was still a part of him fighting the corruption, even after Diablo stopped trying to directly possess him. But once Albrecht disappeared, Leoric went full Mad King and started ordering the deaths of everyone in Tristram. At that point, of course, there weren't many people left following his orders. And then Lekdanan returned and basically said, fuck it, I don't care that it's going to damn my soul for eternity. I'm going to kill my sworn king because he's gone mad. But yeah, like that was the last straw that Lazarus needed to remove, was kidnapping Albrecht and setting up the possession was what truly finally broke Leoric. And we got the second most recurring villain in Diablo. Yep. Because the madness did not go away just because he died.
Strange. I wrote to the Obey Monastery the day I arrived. The abbot should have replied by now.
Tekrin spoke of a rumor. A pale man, seen near the canyons.
The canyons? Why didn't you say so? We go at once. Ugh, but we can't leave Obey unchecked.
Diablo,
So,
Diablo 3, Diablo
I'm off
Immortal,
to the
all having the
canyons.
Skeleton King. Yep.
You can meet me there or go to the monastery. You seem reliable thus far. Do not prove me wrong.
I can't help but feel that there was a slight side eye when he said that, glancing over my character's shoulder and seeing this thing following him. You seem reliable thus far. All right, I think we're going to call it here. We got like 2 minutes. I'd like to raid into somebody. I think Lucy is playing games right now, so I'd love to raid into my Oshi. Let me see what we got here. Who is on right now? I'm hoping she is. Is she on? Wow, Pippa's on right now too. Surprising. There she is, Lucy Pyre. Looks like it's a sponsored stream, so hopefully she does not have raids off. There we go. We're going to be raiding into Lucy Pyre. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining me. Hope you all have enjoyed this time with Diablo 4. We will be continuing our adventures with Diablo on Monday. Sunday, we will be back to Mech Warrior. As I said, we're going to be bouncing back and forth between those. I hope you all have a glorious rest of your Friday. I hope it goes easily and you're able to get to your weekend as soon as possible. Lord knows I am looking forward to it. So thank you all for being here. Thank you all for joining me, and I will see you on Sunday for Mech Warrior. Have a good one, guys. Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.